Go for it.
Hi, everybody. How's it going? How you like that new transition where it goes into the show?
Hold on. I might. Oh, there it is. Yeah,
It's
look
kind
at
of cool,
that.
right? It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's nifty. You'll have to give that to me.
Yeah, you should have the file. It's just it's a quick little transition. It's just fun to see. It like makes it feel like more like an episode of the show.
Is that just the regular bumper file, or is it something
It's the bumper
special?
file, but I made it a transparency at the end.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like it's like an animation file. It has like the transparency in the black. So I just remove the black, so it switches over. It seamlessly goes into the actual show. It's kind of neat.
Oh. Nice.
Well, I realized that I didn't make a tweet, so he was just tweeting this out.
Yeah, I didn't put a whole lot of thought to the composition. It's about the driest stream tweet
yeah
we've ever made, but it is a way.
I do. I'm kind of the same way sometimes.
I was hoping to have played haircut. I mean, it's not a neat haircut. It's just
is it a real haircut?
My non 2020 haircut. I got my first haircut that wasn't me just trimming it back with my razor. And my mom did a couple of haircuts when I was over there, but I just this past week had my first actual haircut in a year and a half.
I cut my hair today too.
That's nice. Well, yeah, I mean your haircut is, a simple process.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say I was hoping to have just to have something to talk about. I was hoping to have played the demo for that silly Final Fantasy Origin game, but
it sounds
I downloaded it twice, and it said both times data corrupted, and I did a Google search, and it's like articles all over the internet that people are getting I don't think it works at all when you download it.
Well, it seems appropriate that it be this chaotic.
Sounds like chaos is here.
Yeah, I mean they're basically asking for it.
Yeah, it's I'm legitimately curious about it, but it does seem rather silly.
Yeah, yeah. We're just talking about it. That it feels like a really bad idea. I don't know what it is about it. It just seems like a bad idea. Just to even make it. I don't know. Like it's weird. It's a weird.
I just think it's so funny that if you all have seen there's a quote from Tetsuya Nomura that literally says, "I wanted to make a game about an angry man,"
and also have it be a prequel to the very first Final Fantasy.
I'm wondering if it's because when you download the demo, it says something like, the memory of their struggle locked away in their hearts. So I wonder if there's some amnesia thing, or I wonder if it's the story of how the Warriors of Light ended up with the 4 crystals in the first place or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
maybe they had to do that. They couldn't, because they can't make a sequel, like a direct sequel to the first Final Fantasy, because what are they going to call it?
Yeah. I am intrigued by the idea of revisiting the Final Fantasy 1 universe, but it just.
But you might be the only one.
It very much seems like a game from 2005, 2006. It just,
it
feels a decade and a half removed from when that kind of concept
was exciting and interesting.
Yes. But I want to play this demo. I want to check it out. I mean, it's interesting. Square Enix has done a lot of things over recent years where they have taken player feedback from these demos. I mean, they did it with Octopath Traveler. Octopath Traveler style tactics game. They did it with Bravely Default 2. They're doing it with this. I mean, that's actually pretty cool. I mean, maybe they'll listen to the feedback and think, oh, well, let's make him not an angry man.
Just rewrite the whole thing. Just redo the whole thing. I don't know. It's such a weird thing that if it didn't have Final Fantasy Origins in the name, like nobody would be talking about it. Like nobody would have ever been like,
oh. That's 100% true. That's 100% true.
You know, I don't know. It seems like they could have probably just, come up with a different idea. I don't know. So I decided I was thinking about playing an Xbox game, but then I thought, like, Tomba 2 sounds kind of fun, and I was thinking about playing this a couple weeks ago. So we're gonna play some Tomba 2.
Gonna play some Tomba 2, Sandy.
Tomba 2. Some people call it Tomba. Some people have called it in some places it's known as Tombi. Tombi.
Is it known as Tombi in some places?
Yeah, isn't that what it's called in Europe? I think it's called like Tombi.
Sandy is watching herself still sitting in my lap.
Like, what is going on?
It was lagged on the stream, and she's barking at herself. Well, I mean, she's gone now, but she's still barking.
Yeah, in Europe it's Tombi.
Huh? I did not know that. Oh, you did the transition there too. Fancy.
You can't just have it on certain scenes.
It's global.
I think it's global only, unless there's a way to do it.
So now, do you actually? I assume you're playing on X Station.
I'm playing on X Station, but I do own this game. I got it at Too Many Games a few years ago. Or I mean, probably last time we went.
I mean, I'm sure the price has gone up quite a lot since then.
Yeah, but it is available to download as a PS1 Classic.
Okay.
For those that are interested, this and the first one.
I mean, I've never played in any of these other than just a tiny bit. I don't have either of them. It's like an open world platformer, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good way to describe it.
Like there's a lot of like quests that you take from
well, the whole game is quests.
It's like quest based.
Yes.
Amir.
I played through the first one. It's been a while though.
It's maybe not bark so much.
The letter says that Tomba's childhood friend Tabby has disappeared. As he read the letter, all he could think about was where she could be.
Uh-oh.
Was she kidnapped? Is she safe? Determined to bring her back safely.
So, are we seeing this on PS1 digital?
Yes.
Into the sea. And then...
You hear Sandy making noises.
Oh, Dr. Dragon.
She sees herself up there again. She's barking to herself again.
Oh, that's low.
Huh?
Dr. Dragon wrote a full walkthrough for this game. I think that I saw Dr. Dragon say earlier that I worked on the Monkey's Paw, like the digital release of this.
No wonder they weren't fighting.
There's $5 from Aaron Welsh. Thank you. Saying, try what little keyboard are you using? Would you recommend it for couch use? Yeah, absolutely. This is, let's see. Is it written on the back here? I think it's a somewhat older model.
You can still buy those ones. I just bought one. They're like $20.
It's the Logitech K400R, and I love it. There's I believe a newer model that is has like some yellow accents on it.
Yeah.
And this one has like, this one kind of has this like blue crisscross pattern on the trackpad, if you can kind of see that.
And people of a certain age will think of that and think of that's the background I had for my school picture.
It'd be like glowing like purple lasers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this keyboard. You know, I've used it so much that like a lot of the letters are like really worn off. So I guess the print might not stay on it all that well. But the one with yellow accents, it's more gray. This is like kind of like black or very dark gray. And the one with yellow accents is more yellow. And it's good too, but the position of the touchpad is like either shifted up or down. I forget which way. I've got one upstairs and I use it, and it like for some reason the touchpad really cramped my hand at first, and I think it was just because it was at a different level than what I was used to. So it's probably fine. In fact, I was using it. I actually wrote the RetroTink 5X script on that keyboard and use that trackpad. So maybe and it didn't cramp my hand then, so I think I've just gotten used to it. So that one's probably fine too. But yeah, this is a great keyboard. You know, I set it here on, you know, the corner of the couch, you know, or set on my lap as I need it. But yeah, it's great. You know, I've got another little thing. There are actually a lot of things like this. This one is AnyWish or AnyWish, A-N-E Wish. It's like a little finger keyboard and then a touchpad up here. If you wanted to use something a little smaller and less space consuming, the reason I got this is I use it with. I've got an older computer hooked up here that I can use for like emulators and the very, very rare occasional PC gaming, which would usually not be like an intensive PC game. You know, mostly I just use this to navigate the desktop until I can launch Steam or launch RetroArch or whatever, and then from there I use a controller. Or anything else I need to do on the computer. It's not like great or anything. It does have RGB lighting though. It's not great, but it's just nice because like I'm juggling remotes, I'm juggling this keyboard, you know, it's like I don't want anything else that is one keyboard of this size is fine to be dealing with, but two would be a bit much in the same room. So that's why I got this. I mean, it's good enough for as little as I use that other computer. I just didn't want to have like another like keyboard and mouse in here, you know? So I mean, these things are like, I mean, there's tons of, I mean, these are made by a bunch of manufacturers. I mean, they're just cheap little things that are like $20 or less. But I do highly recommend these little Logitech keyboard and trackpads for desktop use. I wouldn't like edit on it heavily or anything. Like editing with a trackpad is bad, but yeah, there's.
These games control a little bit awkwardly. They're just
Well, they don't strike me as like platformers that are really about like action and like control response or anything like that. It's more about just sort of doing things.
well,
have you beaten the first one?
I have, yeah.
There was $5 from Tinderbrew. Thank you.
Thank you.
And hey guys, glad I could catch you live again. Love the Nintendo Marathon episode. Hope you're having a good weekend. You know, I noticed that that the Nintendo Marathon video
Has more views than the Asha
has
video.
more views for the amount of time that the Asha video has been released. Like it has fallen behind the Nintendo.
Oh yeah, I it's about what I was expecting, I guess. It's just something I wanted to do because I thought it'd be fun. And
well, it's interesting how those marathon videos perform. It's like they stay consistent even though they don't get high views right away. They just stay consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it did start off doing better than the Nintendo Marathon.
Oh yeah. But then once it hits like a certain point.
It's so interesting though. I mean, those marathon videos, we've had nothing but positive comments about the second one.
Right.
Whereas, the first one, it was just like, what is this? Or, like, oh, this is some tactic to get more money out of YouTube. It's like, well, YouTube doesn't give us much money, so why not? Why not try to get a little more money out of, the tons and tons and tons and tons of work that we put into these things, Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just something nice for people to put on in the background.
I think that since this is the third one, people understand like what they are.
They understand. And they've seen that we've always been conscious to release them when it's not been like a super long gap between regular episodes.
This one feels like it handles very similar to the first one. It's just that it being 2.5D makes it feel a little bit more, or a little bit less accurate because you just.
This is a steep cliff. I don't think we can cross it even with the animal dash.
Just like you don't know if you're gonna be jumping into the background or like because of the way that the camera shifts position.
The first game is all pre-rendered. Or was it pre-rendered characters with polygon?
I think the backgrounds are polygon, but it's not. The camera angle doesn't like change like it does on this.
This is interesting. This fisherman, I noticed he has like a smooth animation, whereas the guy in the house was this very like jumping to keyframes sort of animation. So I was like, huh. But it seems characters have varying animation styles.
I see Alex Desjardins is asking about the X Station in the PS1 digital, and you can put them both in the same system. It doesn't. They are like designed in a way that will allow them to be both in there.
Well, they even talk to each other. However, unless something has changed, I believe there's only like 2 models of system you can even put it in. Let me double check which one here is like 50.
It's like 5500 is like the main one that's good for everything. So okay, so I gotta.
Okay, well this one is 7001. So 7500 series units are the ones that you can put both in, unless they've added some. I forget. I don't mean to say I forgot. I mean, I do not know.
Okay, so this is saying to raise the net, turn the crank. I turn the crank though. Is there another crank?
Am I just totally making this up, or what was there an attempt for the creator of this to make a spiritual successor or something?
Maybe.
I feel like
Dog-shaped.
I feel like I heard something not that long ago about there being like a spiritual successor to Tomba or something.
Okay, so I've raised the net. So how do I get the water over here?
Man, I wonder if Dave
That's what
was
it
watching
says.
that.
It's like, look at, wait. Hang on. I gotta turn it up a little bit. I just gotta hear him. Listen, hang on.
Nuts.
I can't hear him.
He goes, nuts. Nuts. Put that on a soundboard. Nuts.
I wonder if Game Dave was watching that Microsoft conference to get that little Eden Chronicle.
Oh, maybe.
What was the deal with like there was like 2 games? There was like 2 Eden Chronicle.
Yeah, I don't know what
games.
the deal is with that second one.
Like it sounded
with
like
the
the main
prequel.
game was like going to be like 2023, and then there was another one that was next year or something. Or at least I
Yeah.
thought it was the main game that looked like it was listed for 2023. I mean, it's already looking real good.
Can't cross the bridge until the net is raised.
Okay, the net is raised. Can I use the, there it is. Okay, I got
Eden went crazy with stretch goals. I kind of regretted not supporting it. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be other ways to get physical copies, and I think that's why I did not pledge to it, because I was just like, oh, there will be other ways to get it. But I kind of do wish that I did, just to have that assurance. Sandy, let's not be fussy during stream time.
nuts. Well, I got the star-shaped cog. I can't use it though.
You can't.
Do I gotta use it here?
Eden Chronicles second game. It was a Kickstarter stretch goal, sort of a tide you over game with some save data carry over to main game. Huh? Like, is it going to be like visually less complex? I want like, or is it going to be like a? I mean, is it going to be like, you know, similar to how like there was Bloodstained Curse of the Moon before the main Ritual of the Night came out, like where that was like an 8-bit style, or is it
Ooh, there's
like
a bucket right there. That's what I need right there.
what am I thinking of?
It's Mr. Bucket.
This'll work for carrying the water.
Mr. Bucket.
Mr. Bucket.
Oh man, I remember I remember me and my friend were laughed at that commercial all the time. We were like, "What, Mr. Bucket? Balls pop out of my mouth, Mr. Bucket.
Yep.
Balls pop out of my mouth, Mr. Bucket. Balls pop out of my mouth, Mr. Bucket." Oh gosh, I can't get it out of my mind.
I saved the crab. What is this? Can I?
I see.
Oh.
You have a bucket. Come on, hurry with the water bucket.
Well, like this wouldn't necessarily be probably the right.
From the items menu of the adventure journal.
Oh, use a blue item like the water bucket. Select the use from the adventure journal. Got it.
It's probably not an accurate comparison, but I'm thinking of like the Resident Evil 8 like maiden demo that was like
Whoa, slow down there.
not really
You're trying to
part of the
figure out
main game,
back
but
to
it
the
did
house.
like sort of tease parts of it, or you know, maybe it's like doing the, you know, if Final Fantasy VII Remake did the Yuki DLC before the main game came out, maybe
Yeah.
something of that vein.
Yeah.
You think you're going to get that soon?
Yeah. I already bought it actually. I just haven't played
Oh,
it yet.
okay.
Sometimes I
you know,
see it. I'm
I-
just like, it's not gonna be cheaper by the time I want to play it. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm thinking like, you know, once I wrap up the projects I'm
We need one.
working on this week, I'd like to play Ratchet and Clank, and then after that, I'll probably play Yuffie. I mean, you like crushed Ratchet and Clank in like 2 days. Like you were just like, I think, consumed by it.
Well, yeah. So I'm kind of like in a crunch, like with my regular work right now. But
Crunch also involves rendering.
it involves a lot of rendering, like
We need one more bucket
hour
of
and a half,
water.
2 hours at a time. So when I was rendering, I was like, I'm gonna buy Ratchet and Clank because I really want to play it. So I just went to Target and bought it on release day, and I finished it yesterday because it was really, really, really good.
I mean, it sounds like you enjoyed it more than any AAA game you've played in like years.
Well, I mean, yeah, I was just very, very invested in it, and it's definitely my favorite in the series now.
That is high praise.
Yeah, I mean, I played it on the Performance RT mode, just because, you know, like it's a good balance, I think. So in playing another like a 60 FPS Ratchet and Clank game was kind of nice, you know.
Yeah.
But yes, it was excellent. I started a challenge mode playthrough yesterday because there's a lot of, you can double like your weapon power ups and stuff like that,
I was getting worried for a minute.
and it
there.
like unlocks a bunch of
I haven't
other
seen you
guns and
around
stuff.
here
But
It
it was
seemed like a platinum trophy would be particularly difficult.
it doesn't seem like it'd be particularly difficult.
Are you thinking about it?
I'm gonna continue to play on hard mode just to see what the stronger weapons are like.
The coal mining town.
But it was
Should be able to
excellent.
get there from the windmill shed.
It's really fun, and you know, like all the
Just
different
cross the net bridge over the
kind of
valley
mini
ahead.
game kind of stuff
See a place called the
was
Great
really
Waterfall.
well done and implemented.
See,
And I thought that
Shed is past
the
that.
new character Rivet is just like is awesome. Like
He's the boat
it's just
builder of this town. He's
one of the
also
things I was
caretaker
afraid
of
of
the
is that they
windmill
would
shed.
just have you playing as, you know, they're going to introduce a new character, so they're going to have you play as this character for the most of the game, and it splits it pretty evenly. And what's cool about it that I liked is that even though it doesn't really make sense why this happens, if you get like if you buy certain guns or you get certain power-ups with one character, like the other character automatically gets it. Like there's no
So
like,
Bring it to him.
so the characters are just like essentially like skin swaps, like when you're playing. Which I mean maybe is
From a
disappointing.
gameplay perspective, it's nice at least.
Yeah.
I am called
But
Kyan.
I said this earlier during the stream that one of the things I like about it is that
Maybe
it's
we'll
just
meet
like
again
the
sometime.
the good characters in it
Here's your bucket.
are just so like they're so nice all the time. Like they like it's just very apparent that they've written the characters in a way that they like really care about each other. And if someone messes up, it's not like I can't believe this happens. It's more like it's okay. So we're gonna deal with this. And it just you know it made me feel like you know like how like I talk to my kids sometimes where you have to you know like they might be upset about something and you gotta be like, listen, we're gonna get through this and it's gonna be all right. So
I mean,
I just
so
really
it's
like that.
it's the opposite of Final Fantasy Origin, a
Yeah.
game about an angry man.
Yes.
I mean, I'm definitely pretty excited to play it. I mean, it's I love Ratchet and Clank, and it's like it seems like the first time in a you know more than a generation since we had a full completely new Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, and
you know?
it was
I mean,
very clear to me that you know that time was well spent.
You can't cross the bridge until the net is raised.
I mean, it's yeah, I mean, yeah,
I don't know. I
said
can't
that.
use that crank. But I was fully invested all the way to the end.
In contrast to Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, where I was just after the first,
Finally raised the bridge.
after you leave the castle in Resident Evil 8, I was just feeling like I felt like this game just lost its way pretty like at that point. Like that's the reason they
Yeah, I
show
felt
off
like
that
it
part of
never-
the game is because that's like the best part of the game.
I mean, it felt to me like it never quite found its way even in the castle, but
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that. I think I'll, you know, by the end of next week, I think I'll start Ratchet and Clank. And then I'll once I'm done with that, I think I'll play Yuffie.
I can't believe there's so much voice acting in this.
The crab basket.
There's a little bit cut off on the screen. The full text boxes aren't visible to us.
Oh.
The way you've got it sized.
Maybe it's
I
just
guess.
because of the aspect that I was trying to eyeball it. I'm gonna fix that. There we go. I'll do that.
Okay then. First,
No, thinking about you know, Ratchet and Clank and the characters being nice. Like, what's funny is like in the original version of the first game, like Ratchet was a jerk.
Yeah, and like, yeah.
And he was a different actor. Like they like made a conscious decision starting with the second game. They're like, we kind of want Ratchet to be a little different and
not a jerk.
And he had a completely different voice. I mean, he's Titus, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's the key right there. I see
What
that.
are we
Like,
playing
so-
on OSSC or RetroTank 5X? Neither. I mean, Corey is looking at, I assume, RGB on his PVM.
Correct.
But what you are sending us is the PS1 digital
Yeah.
through the X Station with a MEM card Pro.
Yep. And using a wireless DualShock 3 for the controller.
I need to get back to Parasite Eve. I need to finish it. I mean, it would probably just take like a good evening or so of play, I would say, at this point. This is a pretty interesting little section.
Yeah.
Little-
This series seems like the kind of game that you would really like.
Yeah. It's just this expensive. I wonder if the Japanese versions aren't expensive.
I don't know.
Let's find out.
excuse me, are you in?
First of all, let's find out, is it called
We have some for you.
Tomba in Japan?
You got it.
It doesn't
Thank
say
you
on
so much.
Wikipedia.
Quick, put it in the water.
It is not cheap, but it's better than $550.
Is it? It's $550.
Well, I mean,
How can this work without?
the first American one that I came by in this listing, the Japanese one looks like it's 40 some to about 60-ish.
Retro Morgan, I'm using the Brook adapter, the wireless. It's for PS1, PS2, and yeah, it works with PS1, PS2, and you can use Bluetooth controllers in it, and it works with. I like to use it with DualShock 3s on a PS1 and PS2.
I'm trying to figure out what's Tomba 1 and Tomba 2 because there's another.
I'm gonna die here.
There's like two definitely different boxes. But like, it's not like one, neither of them have the number 2 on it, but I can't figure out if they're, well, it's probably one of them is Tomba 1, Tomba 2. Both seem to be about the same price, you know?
How do I save my game for anybody who's
On average. So not cheap, but definitely more obtainable than the American ones. What were you saying?
For anybody who knows, how do I save my game? I just haven't saved yet, and I get afraid because sometimes games like this will just kick me back all the way to the beginning.
The title screen, yeah. That's a great question. Does old Doc Dragon know?
Did you manage to get the crab basket from the winged pig?
The crab basket from the winged pig. Guess that's what I'm doing next.
Why is this guy fishing out of this guy's window now?
I don't know. Why not?
Oblivionix is saying there should be a save NPC. You can save in the first hut.
Okay. If I just died right there, please. Please. Let me continue. Please don't. Not looking good.
Oh no.
Oh, save. I can save when I can save when I die.
Oof. Yeah, that game over screen's dicey looking. Oh, it's still cut off a bit. I thought you fixed it, but maybe not.
Okay. Cool, it just keeps me right where I was at. Or I don't lose anything.
I think what's happening is your capture card might be interpreting it as a square pixel aspect or something, and you might need to just manually squish it in OBS or something. I don't know.
It shouldn't be. It's 1080p, so it should be.
Oh, okay.
It's I just have it cropped.
I wonder if it would fit properly if it was 960p output.
Oh, I might have it just cut off. There we go.
There was $5 from Jonathan Henson. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying picked up a near mint 1987 Trantron with composite out from a local college today. Sadly, this means one of my other rescues has to go.
That's the way to do it, though. You know.
Well, I mean, we talked about this before. I guess that's the deal he's got with his wife. But it's always good to rescue a CRT. That's how I like to look at it. Composite out can be interesting, actually. I've got composite out on my Toshiba, and that Toshiba has component S-video and component input. Component cannot go out of the composite output, but S-video can. So component,
It's a crab basket.
and I assume RF signals probably could go out composite output as well. I would assume. I don't think I've tested that, but composite and S-video can go out over composite output. And how it's actually pretty useful, the way I've got things hooked up. So I've got the composite output from that TV running to a VCR. Running to the input on a VCR, and then that VCR has a coaxial cable running out of the RF output. And then I've got a NES RF switch on a old wood panel RF only TV. And so then run that coaxial cable into that. So I've got an NES that I can just play RF on that TV immediately. But, you know, I do that for certain types of shots when, you know, they need to feel of the era. But what's really handy is I can get RF quality
There's the crap.
of any composite or FS video source onto that TV, onto that RF only TV. So, you know, I could, you know, I can put a PlayStation 3. I have a PlayStation 3 in that room. I can output, like, say, a video. I can play. In fact, I've done it for Analog Frontiers Part 4. I can play a video file off of the PS3 in 480i, run it to that Toshiba TV. You know, runs that Toshiba TV composite, and then runs out of that TV composite into the VCR. So it's just it can definitely be handy for routing signals to like a VCR or, you know, whatever, or, you know, just it can be handy in one way or the other. Oh yeah, I did notice that, Chris Fratz. I was going to ask Chris Fratz sent a $1 via Streamlabs and then a $2 to catch my attention, but I did notice it. But thank you. So, you know, just saying something over Streamlabs. I think it was about Parasite Eve. If you want to look at that on the Streamlabs.
Yes. $1 from Chris Fratz saying, and I still need to finish Jack and Dexter. I didn't play Parasite Eve last month. You also want to hear something funny. The PS3 version emulates better on RPCS3 than the PS2 version on PCSX2.
Interesting.
For Jack and Dexter.
That's funny. Well, I mean, it's in a similar way. I mean, you know, I have not extensively played the PS3 version or the PS2 classic version that's on PS4. But like at a glance, at least, like even though the PS4 version is 1080p and the PS3 version is 720p, like the PS3 version to me just looks cleaner. It just looks like a cleaner picture. It just sort of looks, the edges look rougher to me on PS4, but I haven't played those versions extensively, so I don't really know which one is better.
We got the bird clothes. So do I. Whoa.
Well, there was another part to that comment, wasn't there?
I only saw one.
Oh no! Yeah, I think that was.
Oh, he had a.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty funny actually. And then there was also $5 from Shinjan PV saying, "What do you fellas think about the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters just being PC and mobile?" I don't know if you were watching our stream earlier and you know exactly what my feelings on that are, and you just want to hear me say it again, or if you genuinely don't know, but I was going for like a solid minute or two.
When you just said that, it like did like the audio did something and it like cut it down, like it brought your level down. I don't know why.
Oh, well, you should probably fix that. That sounds, auto levels sound bad.
I mean.
Boo. Yeah, it's. I mean, the thing though is, like, have there been screenshots of those yet? Let me look this up. Final Fantasy, Steam and mobile. Like I want to see if there is like actual screenshots. Oh, they're actually called pixel remasters. So I wonder if they look like they're kind of like PSP style or something like that. I don't think there's like proper. I think there might have been some things in the background. Like let me play the trailer a bit and see.
Yeah, it looks like it's just like the original graphics, but opened up to a 16:9. Not
Right,
stretched
here,
or
I'm-
anything. Hopefully it'd be. I mean, it'd be cool if it was like just scaled properly and then opened up to 16:9. That'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like. Yeah, it looks like. I mean, they're really small in this trailer, but they do. They do more or less look like the original graphics, or in the case of the Famicom ones, it looks like they might be. Well, it actually looks like they might be a mixture of like PS1 style and NES style. Huh. But yeah, I mean, if it's really really stupid. Like it's
I'm not sure.
like hopefully they'll at least come to Switch sometime. Like I have no idea why they wouldn't just do that. I mean, as long as they are way better than the Dragon Quest ports,
Yeah.
you know, the Dragon Quest 1 to 3 ports, like I mean, I would rather get something, you know, a little more different, like, you know, that Dragon Quest 3 remake, you know, or even something of the Trials of Mana style. Like I'd be into that for any of those games. But
Ah!
I mean, the
I
fact
feel like it's
that
harder
it's
to
only
control this
coming
way
to
with that thing.
the fact that it's not
It's
coming
too
to
done.
consoles, at least not now, like kind of gives me the impression that it's like a cheap project. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like what we were saying during the stream. Like, it's not that there's anything inherently wrong with phones, but it's just like it gives you this idea that like, oh, you know, it's not a very high budget game, or it's going to have some sort of gotcha thing to it, which this probably wouldn't, but it just kind of makes you think like, oh, like how much of a budget does this have? Not that it needs much budget, but I mean, hopefully that will not be the case forever, but like, and Chris Pratt's with $2 again saying, Sandy looked genuinely concerned about you. Yeah, well, I'm genuinely concerned about those remasters, because I ain't gonna be playing them if they don't come to a console. I mean, or you know, like if they came to like Switch with like a collection, like at least in Japan or something, like a physical collection, like, you know, I'd buy that.
Yeah. I mean, I look at that and I would definitely buy it. But the odds of me like playing through all 6 of them on it are probably really, really small.
Yeah. I mean, like it would have to be a more graphically extensive remake for me to like probably play through. Like, I mean, like Final Fantasy 3, like I've never played through a pixel version of that. I've only played through the DS version, you know? So I'd like to do that.
Well, in a way, that's pretty huge. That they are officially translating. Oh, look at they got a little.
Yeah, they're making a new version of 3 in 2D. I don't know if it'll be Famicom style graphics or if you'll have an option of Famicom style graphics.
So
it looked like a mixture of like sort of like Final Fantasy Origins PS1 or GBA style for the Famicom ones, but there was at least one screenshot that made me look like, oh, that kind of looks Famicom-y. There was $10 from Guy Manley. Thank you. Saying, I'm really enjoying my RetroTink 5X. Any suggestion for a Dreamcast solution? Component cables for all my consoles, but Dreamcast, because the cable doesn't exist yet. Should I just get SCART? Is 480p possible over SCART? So, I mean, you know, we don't know for sure when the HD Retrovision component cable for Dreamcast is coming. I mean, it sounds like it could be soonish, you know? It could possibly be this year. I mean, I know it's such an ongoing joke about how long it's taking, but, you know, they're probably not one to commit to saying when that might be. But, so what I have, I don't know if the parts are in stock or not, but I've got this cable from Retro Access. It uses a board designed by Dan Kuntz that goes. It's a SCART cable for Dreamcast.
Yeah.
That
I'm not sure if she's had that in a while because of.
Yeah, she may have not had it in a while, but it's really good. I like it a lot. Where it's actually got this switch on it. You can switch it for 31 kilohertz, you know, 480p content, or, you know, the certain games that are not compatible with 31 kilohertz. You just flip it over to 15 kilohertz mode, and you can play those games that might only be 480i or 240p. So it's compatible with all games in that situation. So that's really nice. I like that cable a lot, actually. But yeah, I don't know if that's really available right now. But if you just got a regular SCART cable, it would not support VGA or 480p, unfortunately. So it does take a specialty cable if you're not doing VGA. And for the record, like, you don't have to have like a VGA box. To get VGA out of a Dreamcast. There are just straight VGA cables you can buy for. They're very cheap. You know, I have not done very robust testing on them. So, you know, they you know, they very possibly could have audio or video noise on them. But for just connecting to a VGA monitor, they actually look really good. So, you know, the purpose of a VGA box, as far as I understand, is to make it so that all content, including 15 kilohertz content, could work over a VGA cable.
Oh, what's going on here?
There's a lot of crazy kinds of just things.
I think it almost feels like
going on
anything that you do is going to trigger something.
Yeah. I mean, there's just like a lot of moving parts and a lot of angles you can go through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know much about like maybe a VGA to, you know, component converter or something like that. I'm sure they exist, but I don't, you know, I don't know, you know, if any are good quality or anything like that. But like, I would say, like, really I would say hold out for the HD Retrovision component cable, because I think that's going to probably be the best solution for connecting it to the RetroTink 5X if the Retro Access one isn't available. I mean, I would absolutely recommend the Retro Access one, you know, is a great solution for here and now if you could get one, but I'm not sure if you can. But it is a really nice cable.
This wingsuit that I got is so stressful. I feel like I have no control.
Is it a permanent upgrade?
No. But I just think I
It's
need
just
it here.
for this challenge or this area.
Yeah.
There was 2 Canadian from CF Gaming saying, "I would really prefer if you'd be quiet." Well, sorry, I guess. You can always look up a long play of this on
You have more?
on YouTube. Hey, I get it. When I look up gameplay videos of games, I tend to not like hearing voices in them either. But
Finally, it's complete.
I think most of the people who come to this stream for one reason or another want to hear us talk.
watch and
I
see.
don't.
This
I
invention's
will
one of
agree
a
with you
kind.
that I don't fully understand it. I wouldn't listen to B talk either.
Set. Go!
I don't know why all these guys and gals come here all the time to listen to us. I really don't. I I really don't. I don't know what we're doing right. There was also $5 from EV Chill 2 saying good evening. Good evening to you too.
Uh-oh. That's how I get out of here. I gave a little cicada update during the earlier stream, but I guess I could probably talk about it a little bit more. Last week I was like, oh, it's kind of fascinating, and it's like not so bad.
Wait, what's fascinating? What I'm
Like just like the whole situation with this cicadas.
Oh, okay.
Get it, but that was a pretty cool trick.
And
Cool.
and like I mean, last week you were like, oh, you were telling the chat, you were saying this is not such a you said Corey is having as bad of a time with it as he expected to, or is like not as affected by it as much as expected to. But last week it was fine, and this week it has been out of control. And I even showed you. I sent you that picture. This picture with this tree that was just like covered in them.
What was it? Just shells?
No, they're all alive.
Oh, okay.
You glad you met a man of such
And
intelligence. Be careful when you
it
go
like
there,
that
though.
really it like made my skin crawl because there's like so many of them.
I recall talking to some miners about something called cather.
But in the last week, it's really like gone out of control. There is just there's so many of them,
About my latest invention.
and like they are really really dumb. So it's not such a not a bad thing, I guess. Like they'll just come and like fly in and land on you, and you can just like push them off like really easily. Like you can grab them and throw them. Like they're not gonna fly away.
Wait a minute.
The thing that gets me about it though is like if you touch them or you hit them away, it is like they are screaming bloody murder. They are like ah! Like you do anything and it they let this sound out that it just like sounds like they're screaming.
Well, I mean, they don't have any like mouth vocalizations, do they?
But
It's like it's gotta be their wing.
It's like this vibration sound.
Mm-hmm.
But it literally just sounds like they are screaming.
It can open up all the red chests.
That's funny.
scattered throughout
When are
the
they
land.
supposed to be dead?
There's probably like another week and a half left of this. And I was just saying, there's so many that I can imagine it's going to smell so bad.
But the red
I mean, I
Like
don't.
when they
I
all
don't know if
die,
that's-
because they're just going to be everywhere. Like they are just like going to be all over the ground, and it is going to it's going to smell terrible.
You need to find
Like,
a
I
key
don't
with
know
only
if
the red
if
one.
bug
Not
corpses
finding the
are
rest.
like that, but I don't know.
Oh, they I mean, if you just had one die, you probably wouldn't smell it. But I mean, if you have it's trillions of them, I guess. I guess there's trillions of them.
She is
Literally trillions.
Literally trillions of them. So
Huh?
I think when all these are dead and the ground is basically covered in them, it's gonna smell.
It's so unbelievable. I mean, the whole
pants.
thing is just
Got some
real.
fast
Really.
pants.
Fast pants.
Yeah, my favorite kind of pants. Fast pants.
Also, it sounds like that. I would really prefer if you'd be quiet. Is apparently a reference to games done quick.
Oh, okay.
There's also $2 Canadian from Chuko Kablugo Kapolugbo. Sorry for not being too good at saying that one. Saying, "I'm here to kill chaos."
It listen. Sounds like chaos is here. But what else? But there are just so many of them that they just fly into you. I watched one that's like flying in the air, and it turned in the air and like flew into like the pole that I have that has a basketball hoop on it, and it just like veered in the air and like randomly like smashed into it and like killed itself. It like hit into it and like just like fell to the ground. It's like they can barely get to where they need to go. And you know, my wife described it best, but she's like, you know, the best way to think about it is like they're just a bunch of horny teenagers that have no idea what they're doing. They have no control over themselves. That's how she explains them.
I kind of want to see them just with as dumb as you say they are. I mean, it's got to be kind of hilarious.
But I mean, they're just like they're all over everything, which is like what makes it so annoying.
Yeah. And
they, you know, I think I said last week that I saw one like flying, like it was like basically in slow motion, flying from very far away. When I was trying to like pull this pizza that we ordered like inside, it was very far away, and I was like made eye contact with this cicada, like from the end of my driveway, and like I was trying to grab the pizza, but I was like watching it the whole time, and because I was focused on it, I couldn't like pick up the pizza quick enough, and I like watched it, and it like flew like right into the house. But luckily, it like only landed right at where the doormat is, so I like smacked it outside, and of course it screams. I had a doctor's appointment on Tuesday, and I was like walking in the parking lot, and I get in my car, and I look over, and there's like one right here. It's like right here. And when that happens, it's not like, oh, look at this. It's more like, oh, shit, you know, when you're not expecting it, right? And that like, then it like screams when you like knock it across the car, and then I couldn't find it, and I moved the seat, and I thought that I slid the seat on its tracks like over top of it, like crushed it. But I ended up finding it later on. But I didn't want to leave or start driving someplace. But it's just, you know, it's just like hanging out on my like, if I just donation. Sorry. There's $2 from liccasino.com saying Corey and Troy went 500 free spins.
That's a good laugh. Thank you. There was also $5 from Tinder Brew saying, hey guys, watched all your content, still confused, so hopefully not too repetitive. What's the easiest way to hook up original N64 to modern TV? I mean, the easiest, you know, if you are willing to invest a minimum in, you know, an experience that is better than just connecting a composite cable directly to the TV. The easiest way, the easiest good way, is easily the RetroTink 2X Mini. I'm not sure if they've put the other RetroTinks back up for sale on the site yet. Let me actually look at that. But the RetroTink 2X Mini it's composite and S-video to 480p, and it also has a smoothing filter. If you're into that, a lot of people, you know, I think it is a not a bad idea for 3D games. I wouldn't do it myself, but I get it. I understand where the desire for smooth 3D visuals come from. Yeah, it actually, here, I'll go ahead and post it in the chat. It looks like the minis are for sale again. And they come with a Nintendo S-video cable. Unless something has changed. I haven't looked at the listing here. Oh yeah, it says included included cable. So it actually comes with a good
That's right.
um,
Boomerangs are the only things
that's video cable that works with SNES, N64, and GameCube.
You know where we can find one?
And so yeah, right out of the box, you can use the N64's best
I seem to recall the evil pigs throwing it to
native signal. And
Well, if you know,
yeah, I mean,
be careful. Use the chain.
the best, would be either some sort of deblur RGB, or the N64 digital is shipping soon, I believe. And we do intend to do a video on it pretty quickly. We might wait for the first round of updates, but we're going to do a video on it pretty quickly. That obviously is going to be an excellent option. But the easiest and cheapest, definitely the Retrode 2X Mini with $80. I mean, I know it's maybe more
There it
than
is, the ice boomerang.
you might want to spend, but there's no cheaper device that I'm willing to recommend, because you're talking about things that do not if you're talking about cheaper than that, you're talking about things that aren't designed for video games.
No.
Even if we're talking like those, like
I gotta get this
those
thing set up me.
those HDMI cables that you can get for N64 and Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis or whatever, they are the same thing as just like generic upscaler boxes. They are the same thing, just in a cable. The chips are not tuned for games. So the Retrode series is definitely like the 2X series. I mean, they are not the sharpest picture that you can get for sure, but they are very good lag-free entry-level devices that I think are just very practical solutions for a lot of people.
Does this game have unlimited continue? It's gotta. I think it's really impressive that you die. It just sends you back to the beginning of the area, but you keep the items that you had picked up, so you don't have to redo it again.
Oh, that's nice. I mean,
Remember, we're
it's
counting.
definitely nice.
Please don't.
I mean, coming from the guy who made Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblins.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. There was $5 from Shinjan saying in a sitcom, Corey would look behind him and there would be a giant cicada standing behind him listening.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It was not cool when that happened. And I was gonna be afraid. I was gonna end up. Been trying to like be more open to them and just like deal with it, because my wife took me aside. She's like, "You gotta calm down about this because you're freaking the kids out. You're making the kids afraid of them too." So,
I have a memory. I have a memory of seeing like a few cicadas. Like, I want to say it was around the time that my family and I were moving from Ohio to Delaware. And I want to say it was in Delaware, but like it wasn't a lot. I mean, this would have been in '94. Does that line up with any
the last time that they had them? I don't know. I mean,
a particular brood?
I
don't think I was in Ohio when they were out, but see, I don't remember there being like a ton.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking about it. It's just so interesting thinking about like the last time that they showed up. I was what, like 25.
See, yellow Delaware is in yellow, which is actually supposedly that's part of Brood 10. And then Southern Pennsylvania has Brood 2. Let's see.
No. Oh, jeez.
So let's see. Brood 2 was 2013.
Oh, right into the lava.
17 years. Let's see. So let's see. No, that wouldn't line up with my memory, would it?
Yeah, there's different groups on different
Yeah.
17-year cycles, so it's
Right.
it's staggered between regions.
Right.
And I like to think about how next time this happens, I'm going to be almost 60 years old. I wonder, if we'll still be making videos.
I don't know what
I
else.
wonder
I'd
if
be
we'll still be
doing.
streaming next time. Probably.
I wonder if
probably
Steven
not.
Cicada will donate again.
Probably not. But I mean, I don't know. Think about like when this first happened. And James Rolfe had just started making videos, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, how old will your kids be?
My daughter will be she'll be 25.
Wow.
Yeah, and Monty will be 22.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right? I don't have to keep on saving here every time.
Saving just feels so safe and comfy, though.
Yeah.
I feel like this game really ramped up quickly, being in this like fire area like already. I'm not quite sure how you got here.
Yeah, I'm in the mines. But I don't know, it's been like an interesting experience just seeing them. How do I get over here?
I mean, last year when I was catching as many Animal Crossing bugs as I could, there was a ton of different types of cicadas that you collect in it, like many different types.
Magic flower wants moisture. I feel like it's a bad idea to even be wearing this wingsuit. It's just it's very difficult to control. For people that have played all the way through this, is it recommended that I just don't use the wingsuit like this?
I mean, do you have to is it a trade-off? Do you...
No, I mean, it's just, I don't think it does anything, except for, allows me to fly.
Well, I was just wondering, because you were saying, you also got, fast pants or something.
Yeah.
Can you
I think
wear
the
the
fast-
wingsuit and the fast pants at the same time?
Yes. Yeah, I'm wearing the fast pants and the wingsuit. All right. I'm gonna pull that chain. I'm pulling my chain. Can I go that way? No.
Wingsuit is good for when you're falling, at risk for falling to your death. Otherwise, don't bother. So in other words, is it possible to get through the game without using the wingsuit? I guess is the question. Like, is there any challenge that requires the?
Oh yeah, I bet you there's plenty of challenges that require it. But I think that right now it doesn't. It probably helps using it right in this area. But maybe say in the next area I won't need it very much. Ooh, geez, I just made a shortcut though.
Ooh. Will that shortcut stay open even if you die?
Yeah, it seems it broke the environment.
Oh.
I'm repairing this
I can't
trolley.
believe how much
The
voice
wheels
acting.
fell
Every
off
character is
earlier
voice
today.
acted, it seems like.
That's pretty
If
wild.
you want to use it, you'll need a trolley ticket, but you have to wait until it's fixed.
For people that have finished this, how long is it?
This has
Let's
to be
look
the
it up.
best hammer in coal mining town.
I need the hammer.
This is the trolley stop, all right. But without a trolley license,
bah.
I can't let you ride.
I saw someone was
The
asking,
license is injured.
what
He's
is the
resting
most
in the town tool shed.
expensive PS1 game you have? And I PS1 prices are just like out of control right now. I had no idea that they were as insane as they are.
This is the trolley
That's
stop,
unfortunate.
all right. But without a
Man,
trolley license,
I
can't let
wish
you ride.
I had gotten
That miner with the license
a
is injured.
store around here
He's
got
resting in the
Kudelka
town
and
tool
with
shed.
a big PS1 trade a while back, and by the time I got to the store, it was gone. You know, this was back when the game was like $80 or $90, and I was kind of tempted to get it at that price, but
What game?
Kudelka.
Oh, okay.
I tried it out a while back, and it seemed really interesting. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like way crazy right now.
I mean, there's certain things that I have that are expensive that I didn't even realize were expensive. Like-
I mean that's the thing when people ask like, well, what's the most expensive game you own? It's like, you know, things that I own, I don't really pay attention to what the price is doing on
Right.
things I own. You know, so I'm often surprised. Just like, you know, I was surprised that Lenticular Xenosaga Episode 3 was expensive because I didn't know they weren't all like that. I guess I got the game at Best Buy and that's why I have it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, the idea of, you know, like right now, whatever's happening in the game market, where a lot of people are just buying it as investments. Like, I never think about, like, I don't buy games because I want them to be worth money.
Yeah. Kind of looks like, based on how long to beat, there's actually not very many submissions for it, so...
Some people are
I mean,
saying about 20 hours or so.
I mean, this looks like... I mean, based on the numbers here, I mean, again, it's a pretty small sample size. But it looks like... It looks like 10 to 15 is likely, depending on how much you do.
That's not that bad.
You know, just looking up how long to beat kind of reminded me. I guess I have not even seen it or used it myself yet. I think the Patreon supporter beta of the Backlottery remake went live this week.
That's right. I meant to sign up for it. I mean, well, the thing I want to know is...
I was taking people sign up for it because we were going to restart movie night this Thursday, but that was the day he launched it. He's like, oh, I'm getting a lot of questions, so let's do movie night on Friday, which we did.
So, is it possible to just like, you have to start fresh with it, right?
Right. It is a purely a beta test. So I mean, it's really only for people who really want to help out. You know what I mean? Like it's not. There is no benefit in it to you particularly. I mean, I don't know all the details because I didn't even know that he was. I never read the information because I didn't know it was that close. To be honest, I did not know. That's exciting.
But I mean, is there gonna be an option to keep the new one if you want to? You think?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I'd like to see what the options are. I mean, not in terms of that. Like, I don't want to start over, but I really need to go back through and just like kind of make my stuff more accurate. And I have like thought about starting fresh, just like as a thought, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't need to start fresh because to be honest, I haven't added the things that I've gotten in the past week. But see, I will not put my games on my shelf until I've added them to my backloggery. So I've kind of got a stack of games over here because I haven't added anything in a few weeks.
Right.
Like I haven't added Asha or Ratchet and Clank or anything yet.
Well, that's the same for me. And I just like, but sometimes I.
But yeah, I've got them sitting down here because I'll definitely add them before I take them up to my shelves upstairs.
Yeah, I gotta pull the chain. I think it's the one that's on fire though, so I gotta find it. There it is. But how do I get to it? That's the question.
The sense of perspective in this game is really interesting for sure. I mean, I don't know if it's always in your favor or not, but I mean, it's definitely interesting.
Yeah. That doesn't work. Okay, so maybe it's that chain that was by the actual person I was just talking to. Let's see. That's the one that's on fire, so I gotta... Oh, I can pull that chain. There we go. It's like right in front of my face. People don't watch this stream to see people be good at games.
No. I saw someone earlier was talking about, they wanted to get the DS and 3DS versions of Dragon Quest 4 through 8, and they're all like crazy expensive. Is 7 and 8 really expensive already? Because like I got 7 used, like, gosh, I don't think it was that long ago, like in the past year and a half. And I don't think I would have bought it if it was expensive. I mean, it was probably like $20, I want to say. And then, some friends of ours got copies of 8 3DS for us for, I think, $20 on clearance.
Yeah.
And and then I bought, I didn't prioritize those 3DS versions because I'd already played the original PS1 and PS2 versions.
I mean, I'll definitely play through the 7 that way because I haven't played the 7.
Well, yeah, I mean, the PS1 version of 7 is,
much to offer.
Yeah.
But play real free each day and
Debatably, maybe not even a good game. And I understand the 3DS version's
Why,
much
hello
improved.
there, Zippo.
Even
I'm
though
doing fine.
motivation to play 3DS is somewhat low these days, but I did play
I see.
Fire Emblem
But the town's machines still aren't
Echoes,
running.
you
We
know,
need to get rid of the cappers.
between late last year and early this year on it, and it was great game.
I just on the 3DS actually just bought what is it, WarioWare Gold for that because it was
Oh yeah.
Target, like it had a wrong price tag on it. So I thought it was $20, but it was actually like 40, or it was ringing up as 40. But I mean, I got it for 20 because that was the big price tag I had on there. But I guess it's like, oh, look at this. This is like a town.
Huh.
And it's like,
Oh, cool.
The door to the house won't open.
I wish you didn't play this
Oh.
music every time you talk to somebody.
Machines are
Though.
working.
I tried to get, I think I tried to get Dragon Quest 8 that way at Walmart one time before, we ended up eventually getting it. It was in the $20 and under section. And it was ringing up as $40 and the guy wouldn't give it to me for $40. And I was like, well, I don't really want it then. So
Yeah, I thought the whole
whole
thing is like, if it's marked one price, you basically it was. You should.
Walmart was not receptive to that idea. I'll say that. But what was I gonna say?
The seagulls down in the town of fishermen get their colors when
But yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure Dragon Quest 5 DS is the most expensive of them, but I got all of those DS versions like pretty much right when they came out. I mean, I really got into Dragon Quest with 8 on PS2. I mean, I had 1 and 7 already, but I hadn't really played them. So 8 was really my introduction, and so I was like pretty fully on board from that point, and
Cappers are blocking the outer pipes.
loved playing the other ones on DS. Even though I don't love that Dragon Quest 7 style that they have, but they're still great games. I would like to play the original versions of 4, 5, and 6 someday because I really loved playing the 2 and 3 on NES. So I think I'll love playing 4 on NES. I've played a little bit of 4 on NES. I've played the first chapter on NES. Yeah, there was
Treasure chests
come
in many colors.
there
This town has a treasure chest.
was $4.99 from Michael Queller. Thank you.
Thank you.
And noticing pixel shift on the left and right of PS1 games with the 5X HD Retrovision cables.
Oh, looks
This
like
is on
the
320
rails are still
games, for example. Suikoden, aware of generic for 3. So, 320 pixel wide games. What exactly does pixel shift mean?
Are they like? Is it moving a little bit? Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it sounds like
like
it's happening both on generic 4.3 and on the optimized mode. I guess I'd need a little more description to understand. I don't know if pixel shift is a specific term and I just don't know what it means, or I did not notice any issues on 320 pixel wide games though. Myself, I had a screenshot in the video from Parasite Eve, which was a completely stationary scene because she doesn't even have a idle animation. She's just completely rigid and still. So it was just completely still scene, and I didn't notice any issues. I'm using SCART cables for PS1 through the G SCART into the retro tank. Yeah, I did not notice anything odd. We're maybe referring to chroma shift. Yeah.
Try always says Suikoden, but I've always said Suikoden.
Well, I kind of go back and forth. Like, I always used to say Suikoden, but then Dave says Suikoden because that's kind of closer to how they say it in a Japanese commercial that he looked up. And so, like, I
get that meat.
I kind of go back and forth between Suikoden and Suikoden.
What are you doing here? This isn't a playground, you know.
I wish they didn't play this music every time you talk to somebody.
What does it sound like?
It's just really boring music. It'd be better if it just played the game music.
So, like, cuts out the music and goes for like it's talking time music.
Yeah, it's like do 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 do. It's not great.
Is that you, Zippo? If you're hungry, why don't you have some health dishes prepared from my secret recipe? I will. Unfortunately, the stove is on the fritz and it won't light.
Every single person in this game has a problem.
What's the Street Fighter physical game limited rise announcing tomorrow? I have no idea. If they teased something?
Oh, their conference is tomorrow, isn't it?
Oh.
Produced by Mega 64, I think.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I haven't seen any of their stuff in forever. Are they still at it? Are they still doing the same kinds of things they used to do, or is it different stuff now? Mega 64?
Yeah, I mean they're still doing
this, like the same kinds of videos that they used to do.
But
not
is
they were doing like video game stuff in the real world.
Yeah, I think now they're they do other stuff. And like they're kind of maybe producers of like for people or something. I don't know. I have no idea, but I know that they still exist and still do stuff. But a Street Fighter game, what could it? I mean, it could be the PS4 version of Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Is that digital only?
Yeah. But I mean, if they're doing a Street Fighter, I mean, that's kind of a big deal.
What time is it tomorrow?
I have no idea. They said they had some big announcement that they had to delay today, though.
Campers are blocking the outer pipes, causing the town's machines to overheat.
Monday, June 14th at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. The thing is, the real question is, will they show our documentary again? Because they've shown our documentary before every single conference.
Even though it's so old.
But I mean, it's a great way to show that and reflect on what you're about to see, like how far that they have come in that time.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably one of the reasons they do it, is because they just think it's cool to, to see that and, imagine how far they've come since then. Where's Tabby's house? I think Tabby's the one who's kidnapped, right?
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to what anyone's saying.
I think it was in the intro. Does it play the music on Rita's sign too? No. Alright. avoid falling sand. Oh, can I'm guessing I need to put the wheelbarrow underneath there and catch sand in it. But I gotta get those conveyor belts turned on. Oh, I didn't realize I had a map there.
Oh yeah, it's been there the whole time.
It hasn't been because I have not known.
I noticed it immediately when you came in.
Oh.
The seagulls down in the town of Fishermen get their color.
Okay. I don't think anybody's played the Stranger in Paradise demo yet.
Well, unless they fixed it, were you able to actually download it, Sane Rub?
Stranger in Paradise.
Like, I don't know if anyone's ever going to call it that. Like, I'm just going to call it Final Fantasy Origin.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a weird, like, honestly, though, for a game that I guess Nomura is producing, it's got a surprisingly not weird name.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like that title came from Team Ninja and not from Nomura or Square Enix in general. Like, that sounds like something they would come up with. Stranger in Paradise. Like, that is like the most not Final Fantasy sounding name that, like, I could think of. Like, who's gonna call it that?
The cappers are blocking the outer pipes, causing the town's machines to open.
Like, it makes me think of what was that Fist of the North Star game called?
Oh yeah, that's
Lost Paradise or
Lost
something like
Paradise,
that? Oh, Sainarub doesn't have a PS5. Yeah, I mean, I tried downloading the game twice before the stream, and both times it said corrupted data, so I looked it up online, and, like, there's articles all over saying that, like, I don't know if anyone's gotten to play it. You download it and just says it's corrupted data.
I had no. Okay. Underground machine room ahead.
See, FF Origins on PS1 is called that, Final Fantasy Origins. This one is just Final Fantasy Origin. See, it's different.
So I have to fill that up, but I need to get these conveyor belts. So they are saying that the pipes are blocked. Yeah, I gotta unclog the pipes.
Whew.
Oh, I can save though. I mean, it's fun the joke about the casino stuff, but I'm still gonna delete it.
The casino stuff. Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, so was that the actual casino bot?
Yes.
That came by?
Because of the evil pigs, we can't get under the pipes. I hope nothing's happening.
Oh, there's a donkey.
Okay. So because of the evil pigs, they can't get underneath the pipes.
The evil pigs.
The pigs! Can make them squeal like a pig.
Seagulls down in the town.
It's the seagulls are down there. Stranger in Paradise. I don't. It just seems like a bad idea.
It just feels like a game out of time, you know? It feels like just something that feels like it would have been made like sort of in the cross-gen period between like PS2 and PS3, you know?
Yeah.
not a game that would have actually been cross-generation, but it's like one of those games that, oh, maybe it came out on PS2 during the early PS3 days, or maybe it would actually have been a PS3 exclusive or something, you know, or an early PS3 360 cross-platform game.
Someone's saying E3 was garbage. I mean, I guess it's only garbage if you have any expectations. I mean, I feel like I don't even get excited for like game announcements unless like it's very specific.
For E3, but this year, like I have had very low expectations.
Yeah,
like the only
I just don't even think about it. Basically,
the only thing that could really get me. I mean, there was definitely some nice looking games at the Xbox conference for sure.
I see that. I will say there's $5 donation from Robert Carlson, my grandfather, saying Cheeseburger in Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, and you know what? I bet you that the character design in that would be much better. I mean, I'd rather play as what's his face? I had his name just a second ago, and now I forgot what his name is. The Cheeseburger in Paradise guy, Margaritaville guy. The Parrot Heads. Like, what is his name? Why I had his name like ready to go, and then I just like blanked on it. People are gonna remind me.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft.
Jimmy Buffett. That's it. Yes, I bet I would. You know, if they made the main character in Stranger in Paradise look like Jimmy Buffett, I bet you it would be way more interesting.
But you know, Microsoft's conference was good, but like I don't think there's anything that I'm just like, oh my gosh, you know, like I'm sure there's a lot of things that are like that will come out and I'll buy them and I will.
Oh, I bet I gotta get this guy.
You know, like that Replaced looked really awesome, but I'm not just like, you know, chomping at the bit like, oh, I gotta play it now, you know, like, you know, that looked really good. You know, I do feel like I should try Forza Horizon. I feel like that's possibly a thing I would like if I could actually get in any way halfway decent at racing games.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like basically just like in terms of E3 though, I think that so many cool game announcements happen throughout the year that the impact of
E3, it's getting less and less. But you know, the one thing that could happen that the one thing that could happen that I would definitely be really hyped about is Switch Pro. Or, you know, Super Nintendo Switch as it should be called.
All right. I removed all the cappers. Now I gotta go to Tabby's house. There's Tabby's house. Let's go to Tabby's house. Clear. Yeah, is it replaced the one like the Pixar game looks really cool?
Just as I suspected, she isn't here.
Yeah, Replaced. That looked really good.
Yeah.
And Eden Chronicle, but I mean, you know, we already knew about that game.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Tomba. You hear
This is not a Kirby shirt. It's a Pink Gorilla Games t-shirt. I found it buried in my closet today. I really need to go through my closet and find stuff. It's like I have not done anything with my closet since we moved into this house, it feels like.
Hey,
and it's just
what's all
like
this ruckus?
shirts on shelves in there. And some
What
stuff
is that?
hanging up. Uh-oh.
You took the word right out of my mouth.
Some sort of cocoon. I will be real disappointed if if it's not called the Super Nintendo Switch. It's not a lazy name. It's like it's the name that it's like I feel people like would describe exactly what it is.
It would resonate with people because of the going back to Super. I mean, I will not be disappointed if it's not called Super Nintendo Switch. I will be extremely happy and relieved as long as there's anything, basically literally anything that is within the realm of possibility of it being named that is not new Nintendo Switch. All they have to do to make me happy is call it anything but new Nintendo Switch. Anything. I mean, they could do worse things. They could call it,
I look like a lunchbox.
They could pull a Microsoft and call it the Nintendo One, which I mean, then it's like, oh my gosh, what are we doing now? I would take Switch U over new Nintendo Switch. They aren't going to do that, but I would take it over new Nintendo Switch. Anything but new. Anything but new.
Some of these names, like this mission is called Wash the Strange Lump. That sounds gross.
Why don't we excise the strange lump and then we won't have to worry about washing it.
Yeah, it can be called Drain the Strange Lump.
Drain the strange lump.
Whether you gotta find a syringe and pull it, like drain the pus out of it.
that happened with you last year, didn't it, Sandy? We had some cyst talk last year.
Yeah.
Sandy, are you gonna throw up? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? She's just kind of going.
Yeah, I don't think that they'll go with a Pro. I'm not quite sure why the Pro name has been so prominent.
I mean, I think it's just because the PS4 Pro.
Well, it's just because of the PS4 Pro, but I don't think that they would ever call it the Switch Pro because Sony has kind of used the Pro name for their.
And I agree. I don't think it will be, but I think the reason it took off is because that is just an easy way to describe unofficially what we expect this product to be. It's still the same platform. It doesn't exclude anyone, with exclusive new games or anything like that. But it is a more powerful Nintendo Switch that can play the games better.
Let's see, now I gotta find my wheelbarrow. There it is. I'm figuring it all out.
Next Switch, that would actually be cool.
What?
Or Nintendo Switch NX or something like that. Because NX was the code name.
Yeah, but I mean,
I mean, it was still. I mean, when they announced Dragon Quest XI, they were like, coming to PS4 and Nintendo NX. That'd be kind of neat.
Sand. See, I knew this is what I had to do. It's like I saw the entire order of events, except for I could not figure out the key piece of how to get the conveyor belts moving. And that was because there was one thing plugging the steam vent at the very beginning of the level. Not even in the town, but at the very beginning of the level.
Any other predictions that don't have to do with the name? I hope they do something Zelda related that's not just Skyward Sword. It would be nice, I think, to have something else cool for the 35th anniversary, and Metroid too. Metroid would be nice. I feel like they're not going to show off Breath of the Wild again or ever show off Metroid Prime 4 until
Be careful,
they
you'll get burned.
have shown off the Super Nintendo Switch. They might show it off at the same time, but I don't think they're going to show those games until they can show them running on the most powerful hardware.
Yeah, the floor is hot, so I can't. Ah.
This here kill just defeated enough fuel.
I can't believe how much voice acting in it is. It's pretty incredible. This here kill just feeded enough fuel. It can put out incredible power.
It was so hot that I used to
But
use
see,
it to smelt and process various metals.
like,
for evil.
you know, voice acting is cool and all, but like,
Burn the power coal along with the rest.
It's not
you know, I
needed.
feel
It's not needed.
It was-
I'm amazed that they did that for Tomba 2, because it's not. I don't feel that the first game like set the world on fire at the time, anyways.
yeah. I mean,
Maybe I've still got some.
but it's just like I feel that
If I smelt
sometimes voice acting just kind of slows the pace of the game down. You know, like it's nice to have voice acting. You know, we were talking about this regarding Final Fantasy 14, and you know, there were requests, like a bunch of people started playing Final Fantasy 14 suddenly in the MLiG Discord, and so some people who were not playing it begged for an MMO discussion channel, which I made, and it's the first time I ever made a Discord channel on my own. New experience for me. But it was kind of came up that, you know, like, oh, or is every cutscene voiced in the expansions? And no, they're not. But like, I feel like every single line of dialogue in a game being voiced, like, kind of sometimes can cheapen it. Like, you know, it always makes it special. Like, you know, just like in the PS1 days when you earned an FMV, you know, it felt like you earned an FMV when you get
Right,
one, you know,
yeah.
it was like a reward. And in the same sense, like, I kind of feel like if voice acting is all the time, then it's not special in some cases. And, you know, can also just like when you're reading something that's not like so super important, like you can read it and parse the information much quicker than you can just sit through them talking. So,
Did you know? We have
like in that way, like I feel like overuse of voice acting can, you know, put a damper on the game's pace.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, one thing that I have found myself being kind of particular about, and this is kind of a weird thing, and I've noticed that Falcom games are very consistently doing it, which I like, where you can, when you have just like regular spoken dialogue where characters that you just like, you know, like meet in like open world parts and they talk, I hate having to hit the button to like make them speak the next line. I would rather it just like advance to the next you know, the next bit. But with Falcom games, you can turn that on and off.
right.
You can hit
Well,
square and it will
a lot of
automatically.
games-
And it drives me crazy when I'm like playing something like this and you got to hit the button every time. You got to get them to say like read the next line.
Usually I just go with whatever the default for the game is, because I mean, I kind of like both solutions. I mean, one, it keeps it flowing more freely, but then the other ensures that like, oh, like it doesn't move ahead before it's like, wait, I didn't, what are we talking about? You know, it lets you like take in the information a little better, I suppose, when you advance it yourself. I usually just go with whatever the default is. I mean, it depends. Like some things that like have if a game had like a very cinematic presentation, then it would be annoying to advance it manually. But if it's a game that is like just, you know, voiced text boxes essentially, then I'm fine advancing it manually.
See, I'd much rather just like have it be a toggle at least, because I feel
Well, it is good.
that-
It is good for it to be a toggle for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I
But
like to
I
just
don't-
have
I
it
don't
played
mind.
because I feel like it just makes it sound too stilted for me. It sounds more natural, at least if they're just like advancing on their own.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but yeah, I mean, I get what you mean.
Yeah. I'm gonna run to the bathroom and fill up my water. I'll be right back. Okay.
Yep. But yeah, you know, I feel like there's always been this push for like, oh, Zelda's got to be all voiced and stuff, you know, like, oh, they're really behind the times, and I've always been like, there is, you know, up until Breath of the Wild, no voices. I wouldn't have liked Breath of the Wild one bit less if it had no voice acting. And as it is, it has pretty minimal voice acting. But voice acting in Zelda does absolutely. It is no burning desire of mine. And if they were to like voice every NPC in town that you talk to, I feel like just get so tedious to listen to them. I'd rather just read what they say, hit the button, and move on. You know. I think it's time we petition for a single-player Vanilla FF spin-off, even though it may not be quite the same as it was in FF11. I really do hope that, you know, at some point, Square releases a version of that world that can be, you know, preserved in a single-player form, because that world, I think, is too interesting and you know, important a part of the series history to lose. I mean, of course, you know, there is a fan server. You know, I was reading the other day that apparently some people have tried to work on getting a, you know, a version of Final Fantasy 14 1.0 working on a private server. Like, you know, the most advanced version of it that had the full story and, you know, mechanical enhancements and stuff. I would totally play that because, you know, I'll be honest, I kind of have some regret. I kind of have some regret that I never played through that 1.0 story that, you know, Naoki Yoshida eventually, you know, fleshed out. You know, even though I know generally what happened, I've never like watched like, you know, a cutscene compilation or anything like that. Like I would absolutely play the 1.0 story, you know, what, regardless of how good or not good people think the game is. I would 100% play the 1.0 story on a private server. If that, I feel like there's a good chance that'll come to fruition. I believe I missed a super chat a while back with Joshua Helmicky saying it must be called the Super Switchendo. It'd still be better than new Nintendo Switch. Super Switchendo. And Fire from Bitspam, thank you, saying I'm so happy you guys did 2 streams today. That Square Enix stream was such a train wreck. I'm glad I was there live with the 4 of y'all. That was fun. I mean, I would have been pretty bored watching it any other way, I think. Yeah, but I Square Enix has never been good at these kinds of presentations. I had very, very low hopes. I was not expecting to walk away from that with any tangible excitement in my heart. Final Fantasy 14 playable alone without that huge party thing. You do have to party up with people, but it is entirely automatic and you do not have to talk to them. You follow the main story. and you know, most of it you do completely alone. But you'll get to dungeons and bosses that you do have to do with a party. But all you do is you queue it up in the duty finder. You're put in this queue, and it, you know, over the course of, you know, probably on average 5 to 12-ish minutes, sometimes more, sometimes nearly instant. It'll put you in a party of people who, you know, most of the time someone might just say hello, or at the end they might say thanks for party. Or if you wiped on a boss and they realize someone doesn't understand how the boss works, they might explain how the boss works. But it does not have to be a social thing at all if you do not want it to be. You can get through it mostly playing it as if it was a single player RPG, and then when you do have to party up with people, you don't have to make any manual effort to build the party. You don't have to converse with them. You can basically pretend they are AIs if you want. In the current most recent expansion, you can actually play through the story dungeons with NPCs. I've only done the first of those so far, but it's pretty neat. But it does not have to be social if you don't want it to be. I think it's worth playing for the story. A lot of people consider the early storyline to be pretty boring, but it gets really good, especially in the expansions. So I think it's very worth doing.
All right. Sorry, I was gone so long. I was just
No?
texting with my wife. So her and the kids are on vacation. Like they're down the Outer Banks until next Sunday. And I'm here because, like I said, I'm crunched with like my at work, so I could not go. So I'm on my own for the next week. They've been gone since Thursday, I think.
Too bad we're probably not going to have time to play. Play It Takes Two during that time.
Well, you know what though? As soon as I was thinking as soon as my this crunch time period is over, it's like the beginning of July, and I think that we should play It Takes Two like at the very beginning of that.
Okay.
Because I'll have like a bunch of like downtime after it's all done.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect timing for that.
Treasure chests coming.
Yeah.
I've been dying to play it. It's what's funny is like if we had just waited, it's like I've seen it for like $29 now, stuff like that. I don't know how much. I think it might have been $39 when we bought it. It wasn't a full price game, was it?
No. Hazy83 wants to know if we'll be sampling the dialogue music for the next episode.
Every time we talk, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay, where am I going here?
The seagulls down in the town of fishermen get their color.
Well, it would be a break, and that's probably in addition to like a way I was able to just blast through Ratchet and Clank, because I could just when I started a render, I can just go over and sit, you know.
Yep.
And do that.
The machine room, pride of Coma.
But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be down in this basement for like the next week, you know, working. So it's not like really a vacation from them.
Oh, sounds like you and Dustin Kramer have some sort of in-joke about the dreaded color. What is the dreaded color?
That it's green. Well, I mean, that's for those that don't know, Dustin and I work together, and you know, we're working on the same project. I guess like the color is like the green, lime green is like the main color motif. It's kind of like a greenish, yellowish thing. I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to say like exactly what it is, or what the job is. I mean, unless he says it's okay.
The dreaded color.
But it's no, I mean, just like that's the main color that's design uses for the project that we are working on. Okay, so I'm gonna tell this person I'm ready to go. Oh, look at this, I'm on the conveyor belt now.
How about that? What do you think of them mixing it up with an overhead section?
I think it's kind of neat. Oh, can I get? I want that lump of coal. How do I get down to there?
Michael's Workshop says, Corey, are you a hand model?
Wouldn't that be funny? No.
I mean, you know, you've got experience.
That's true.
You've got experience. I don't know if you've got the other credentials.
Yeah.
You've got the experience.
I mean, I have the experience, but I would not say that my hands are hand model worthy. I mean, they're pretty beat up. I can't believe that I don't get more comments about like hangnails and stuff.
Oh,
Especially,
I mean, it definitely happens though.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
your hands were like wrecked like right after you moved.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they're always kind of wrecked. Well, just during the winter, they're always wrecked. Like after because of they get so cold and stuff because of the Reynolds. They just get so cold and messed up looking.
Yeah. You know, I won't lie. Like, oftentimes the motivating factor for trimming my nails is like, oh, I need to shoot plugging cartridges into consoles today, or oh, I need to shoot holding controllers today, or holding something in front of the camera today.
See, I mean, I clip my nails like all the time. Like they're.
I mean,
it's not it's not like a compulsion to do it, I guess, but it's just I do it because.
I mean,
I know that I try to stay on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly couldn't tell you how long I normally go. I mean, they never get obscenely long. I mean, you know, once it gets to there's like a certain threshold to where it's like, oh, I'm like noticing my fingernails while I'm typing or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not this like they're like long or anything when that happens, but it's like once it gets to the point that I'm like conscious of my fingernails when I'm typing, I'm like, okay, it's time to trim them. But see, then when I actually do trim them, I trim them, you know, really tightly, so that it's like longer to when it takes more time until I have to do it again.
Go that way for the machine.
There's $2 from Bitspasm saying, which game will feature which next game will feature Captain Jack Sparrow? Someone said earlier that the Tomba 2 needs Jack Sparrow DLC.
Yeah. Every game should have Jack Sparrow DLC.
I mean, that's
like, what if they came out with some original DLC, some original Jack Sparrow DLC for like Near Replicant, like the new.
That's honestly though gotta feel good for the guys at Rare, though, you know, because I mean, like, I don't think the game was a big hit when it first launched, and then over time it like, you know, it got patches and it got really big on Twitch, and it's like really popular now, and they like, You know, and then they got to the point where they're doing this like Disney collab. I mean, you know, they kind of made it now. You know,
we're putting the fossilized poop into the machine. Oh, the fossilized poop had this. The strange lump had this little monkey kid in it. It's Charles.
You know him?
This was the strange lump.
Yeah.
Oh, wash the strange lump.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot something important. I'll have to hurry up and go fix it.
The strange lump.
Washing the strange lump.
Excuse me. I just remembered I have something to do.
Tom17 says Jack Sparrow in Mortal Kombat wouldn't be much crazier than some of the other DLC fighters.
Thanks for all your help, Gran.
It would be kind of funny, but there's no way that Disney will allow that character to be like killed in that game. I mean, that's what happened with the
Use it whenever you wish.
the Injustice games. They didn't have like actual fatalities because they couldn't let these characters die.
Hmm.
There he goes.
Charles, what were you doing?
Whatever happened to Shaggy in Mortal Kombat 11? Was that supposed to be a thing, or
Are we
are you
talking about
like Scooby-Doo Shaggy?
yeah, Scooby-Doo Shaggy or Mr. Bombastic Shaggy?
I mean, Scooby-Doo Shaggy in Mortal Kombat would be kind of hilarious.
Found you bundled up in a lump of dirt.
I would take either, by the way.
Oh yeah, I fell into some mud, so
I didn't mean to disturb your scene.
Oh yeah, it was MK versus DC Universe. I forgot that was even a thing.
And that's how you became that lump? Alrighty then.
That's how you became that lump?
But crying out loud.
That's right, it wasn't me.
Find that thing anywhere.
What seems to be the problem?
That's a great running animation.
I can't find my hammer. You don't know what a hammer is?
I think that most of these voices were done by one person, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, for the time, I guess that's not too surprising.
if I remembered.
Actually, come to think of it, if you encountered a female character in the entire game,
Help me find it.
I think Tabby is the. I haven't encountered her, but I guess I'm trying to save her.
If Gran finds out I lost my hammer again, he'll fire me.
are you guys having a busy weekend? Yeah, I kept busy all day yesterday and
Okay.
busy as much as I could today, you know, what with the E3 watching and all.
Charles!
We had fun. For those that missed it, it should be up on the archive playlist on the front page of the channel. If you wanted to watch it, it's like 3.5 hours. So I guess for this stream and that, we've streamed like at least 6.5 hours today.
Well, let's see.
It's kind of crazy.
I had it when I was working on the trolley.
Doesn't feel like it particularly, to be honest.
Gotta find the hammer. It's hammer time.
But yeah, and we'll do it again Tuesday for Nintendo. At least me, John, and Audie, anyway. I don't know if Corey will make it or not.
I'm gonna try to make it. I mean, hopefully I'll be able to, but I cannot promise. Even if I can jump in like voice only, like after my meeting is over. If I'm a little bit late, I can just jump in voice only.
Would that would probably still screw up the
Maybe.
position?
Pigs, we can't get
Because I think it would still put you in like a box with just your avatar.
Well, maybe you could put a placeholder or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I could join and then leave it like muted or something like that. When I'm on.
Right. Yeah, that would probably be the best way to do it, actually. That would be the best way to do it. Let's do that.
I'm kind of tempted just to like. It's 10:30 now. Like, I mean, I wonder if I just like play a couple of random things on the X station. But it's a lot easier to sort through now that I have now that you can have folders.
You feel like you got to a good stopping point in this?
Probably not. But I mean, I'm just kind of running around, and I feel like I'm missing information.
With the help of you kids, I have at last finished the job.
I mean, this seems like a game that would be hard for me to play on stream.
Yes.
There's a lot of talking to people, and I usually don't absorb, you know.
You know what I really want to do?
Can be a dialogue very well while streaming.
What I've thought about doing, and maybe I'll do this like after like my work calms down. But what I want to do is, so I have like a lot of games that I've just never played. I was just thinking about like, I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna grab a stack of PS4 games that I haven't like really even booted up. Like I have installed, but I don't haven't like booted them up. It's like, let's spend like 3 hours just like playing the first 15-20 minutes of these games and see if there's anything that like sticks. Like say, hey, I want to keep on playing this.
That's a good idea,
and
actually.
Just spending a few hours doing that. I think it'd be fun. Let me just find.
Why don't you grab a stack of like 3 PS4 games you've never played, and let's do that right now.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if
do
they're
that.
installed or not.
Yeah, we could
or
definitely
you
do
could
that.
do the same with Switch games. Because I've got plenty of Switch and PS4 games I've never booted up either.
Okay, well, I'll do it with Switch games. Give me a second.
Because I've got all of my PS4 games installed, whether I've booted them up or not. But I don't know about you. No more dialogue music, thank you. So many Switch games. Yeah, I have like kind of a stupid number of Switch games. Like I don't know. I like buying games for the system, and there's like so many of like these, like $30 or so games for it. That's like, oh, that seems like something interesting. I just still have never played them. I like buying games for the Switch. I intend to play them, but some of them I just haven't yet. But Switch is easy to just play something on a whim because you don't have to install them. But yeah, I don't think Corey has all of his PS4 games installed like I do. The Cotton remake. Yeah, I want that. Even though I'm not a big shmup guy, I just like how those games look. Oh yeah, Psychonauts 2. That does look cool. I need to play the first. I played a few hours of the PS2 version back in the day, and I couldn't really get into it. But I bought the Xbox version not that long ago. And John was saying during the stream, oh, the Xbox version or the PS2 version is bad. So has BioWare announced anything? I mean, Dragon Age 4 is coming. I don't think they're going to be showing anything else very soon, and even that I don't think they'll be showing all that soon. EA, I don't think is at E3 in an official capacity anyway. I don't think hasn't EA not done E3 for a while anyway? I like that Battlefield game was at the Microsoft deal, but Ugh. Saga Frontier Remastered, you said?
Oh no, I'm not gonna. That's not one I grabbed. I just popped it in earlier to see if there was a patch for it. 'Cause it just came in the mail yesterday.
Oh, I don't have mine yet.
Give me 1 second. All right. So I've never played these games. I have 3 games.
How many do you got? Never played.
And I'm just gonna play them for, 10, 15 minutes. See how they are.
Blasphemous. Is this one of these is that one of those like 2D like Dark Souls-esque games?
I don't know. Let's see how big this patch is though. Awesome.
Oh yeah, Saga Frontier Remastered just came out pretty recently, actually.
Why can't I download this?
That's happened to me before too, where it has that. Oh, I think your card might be full.
No, there's
or maybe your internal storage.
Definitely.
I've had this happen before, and it took me a bit to figure out why can't it do it?
I just canceled it and then started it.
That's happened to me before.
No, I mean, I'm fine.
Okay. Oh, you don't have very much at all on your system memory.
No, I keep everything on the SD card if I can. That's gonna take a little bit, so I'll put the other thing in while this downloads.
Sure.
Oh, that's my fault. I bumped it off the dock.
Phoenix Games on PS2. That's the developer that made like all of those really bad budget releases in Europe, right? I know that if it's what I'm thinking of, I know John and Adi did some Let's Plays of them that were entertaining.
Try this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm curious to see this because I think I saw a physical offered somewhere. You got this from Video Games New York, right?
Yeah.
I saw it offered somewhere else, and I was like, oh, should I get that? But I couldn't figure out what I thought of it from the trailer I watched.
Is there a game audio? No, why is there no game audio? Oh, I know why. I don't know why this happens. There we go.
Oh, it doesn't work if you have surround on?
I don't know why. This is not. It's very poorly scaled.
You have to turn off and turn back on the capture card for it to
no.
have some.
No, it's going through the zone 2 into the mixer. I don't know why it does that though.
See, this is why I think you should just do sound through the HDMI and mix it in OBS.
Make your shot count, my son.
Rabbit stew coming up.
Try to skip the opening or
Yeah, we're just testing stuff out. I would skip the cutscenes. Watch them when you play it for real.
Jamming tunes.
Oh yeah? Is there some shimmer, or is it just the way that it's...
Oh, look at the background. There definitely is some. Oh, look at that box.
Oh yeah, Shimmer City.
Shimmer City here. Look, oh my, that's a lot of. I did that, and it was kind of a last minute thing. I just thought it was like, hey, you know, I haven't done anything like really goofy like this in a long time.
Oh, is this like? I'm trying to figure out like what the resolution of this is supposed to be. Like, it looks like pixel art, but they aren't chunky pixels. Like, is it going for like a? Like, it feels like it's maybe going for like a high res like PC pixel art.
I don't really know.
Like, I'm not really sure what style they're going for.
It plays a little bit different than I was expecting. It's actually kind of cool. Like, it's.
Yeah, you're just like firing. I mean, it looks like it's more like Contra than Castlevania.
Yeah, I just fell in the water and died. Yeah, it's more run and gun than I was expecting. And
Are you
kind of
auto-firing, or are you having to tap the button?
No, because if you hold it down, you charge.
Oh, okay. You guys going to cover SA1 patch SNES games that have been coming out as of recent? That might be an interesting theme for a video sometime. I mean, I know Vitor Villela has done a lot of work on that. That could be an interesting subject. I mean, I'm under the impression, you know, he has a Patreon and everything, so like I believe he's going to be doing that work for a long time. So it could possibly. You know, whether it's soon or much later, I think there would always be relevant things to talk about regarding that. I don't have a lot of experience with those myself, but I did play the Contra one, or a little bit of it anyway. I put it in Analog Frontiers.
The shimmer is really bad at this. Look at the.
Like when you're riding on that barrel, you see it on like it's like that slower speed just makes it really obvious.
Should I see if 720p is any better?
That might be interesting. Try it. You know, I don't think Switch actively downloads stuff when you're playing a game.
Oh, it doesn't. Yeah. Oh no, it's moving. I just saw it move.
Yeah, but when you're actually in the game, I don't think it's gonna.
Oh. That's okay.
Yeah,
I'll do that one next.
Probably better.
You cannot defeat us.
It's kind of cool. I was not expecting it to be such a like a straight up running gun.
Yeah.
Does that
I wonder
does that make you more interested in it? You think?
I wonder though if like other levels might change it up, or if you get like other types of weapons. I mean, it does kind of make me interested, just because it like it goes against your expectations. You know, I was definitely expecting Castlevania ripoff.
And I mean, yeah, this is not like the kind of.
It's not what I was
expecting. It's like if
at all.
Castlevania met Contra.
Yeah. It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't decide what I think of the art style. Like, part of me likes it and part of me doesn't, you know?
Yeah.
He was displeased with their progress.
I feel like they're going for something with it that is possibly like more PC-like, and I'm just not as accustomed to the look.
I got like a spread shot.
Oh man.
Is that his name, Barbaros?
Yeah.
If I hit it, like, it makes different faces go into me. I feel like I could do like an entire evening stream, like playing different stuff that I had never.
Yeah, I mean, I could see myself doing it too. I mean, you know, maybe that could be our fallback if we're just like totally out of ideas.
Yeah.
It seems like it's fun because I mean, you know, I've often thought like, you know, like even though I do intend to play through these games, you know, one day, like there's so many games that I've bought and just like never even booted up. Like on PS4, I'll install them. I'll always install them.
Yeah.
But like I often don't boot them up. And like once you actually play a little bit of it, like it might kind of push it a little further to the front of your queue. Like, ooh.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. You know, like I just need to do that kind of thing more often, where I just pop something in and play it, and
you know, even if it's,
hey, you know, I could see myself just continuing to play this.
You know, exactly. I mean, that's kind of what I've thought too, because like that was, like I've even done that with like. There have been some times where I bought like a AAA game and it's like, oh, you know, I wasn't really planning to play this immediately, but like I'm going to just test it out. And then sometimes it's like, oh, I guess I'm playing this now. Like that happened with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, because like I finished Rise of the Tomb Raider and I was just like, yeah, that was kind of disappointing. I wonder what Shadow is like. And then immediately I was like, huh, I'm kind of more into this than Rise, and I just kept playing it. $5 from Joshua Helmke. Contravania is the next big mashup in gaming. Thanks, Corey.
Contravania.
The Contravania. I love that. That is a fake genre name. Oh, Contravania. Just rolls. It rolls off the tongue a lot better than Metroidvania. That's for sure. Okay, so this is a game that I have heard the name of, but I don't really know.
I think I'm not sure if it's going to be like Dark Souls. Like I think you're thinking as Salt and Sanctuary.
Oh, Sanctuary, yeah. Which is a game I have and have never booted up.
Same here.
You know, from Chris Fratz, I've been mean to buy Shadow of the Tomb Raider mostly for ray tracing. Yeah, I forgot that it has some ray tracing support. Is it? It's lighting, ray trace lighting, I believe, on PC. You know, I gotta say though, like I have not yet played a game that used ray tracing I wanted to leave on. I mean, in Resident Evil 8, like the first area that you're in, like immediately in the beginning of the game, you're in a house and you can see like with ray tracing on, you see like it, like when you're like looking up and down, it's like drawing like shadowing in at the top of the screen. And I was just immediately like, oh, gross. Like I was expecting to play with it off anyway, because John had already told me like, oh, like I asked him like, oh, can you just tell me what you said in the video, because I don't want spoilers. And he said that you know, just play ray tracing off because it'll be a locked 60 and the ray tracing doesn't amount to much. But he said that it wasn't that effect wasn't as obvious elsewhere in the game when you had ray tracing on, but it really annoyed the heck out of me in that house, and so I just like immediately turned it off. And then like I've played a little bit. I played a little bit of the updated version of Control, you can play in 60 frames per second on consoles with ray tracing. 60 frames per second with ray tracing off, or 30 with it on. And I really don't know which I'm going to do. I know that, Digital Foundry, or at least Richard, like, kind of still considers Control like one of the best ray tracing showcases. But like, the thing is, that game actually has like really bad screen space ambient occlusion. Like, I just don't think it looks particularly good. You can really see it.
Yeah, like gate.
You can really see it sort of fade away as your character overlaps with like shadowed areas. Sleeping Dogs is kind of bad for that too. But I feel like it's been a while since, like, I remember when screen space ambient occlusion was new-ish.
Oh,
like,
this
you
is
would
very
see,
like Souls-like. You can get your guilt fragment.
It does kind of look Souls-like. At least, yeah.
Well,
This is definitely.
Yeah.
This definitely has some Souls vibes for sure.
I
But
assume it's like kind of Metroidvania too.
You do know that RT disables SSAO, but does it? Because I saw the same effect though, like where when I turned on ray tracing, like as I turned the camera around, like in the early area of the game, there's like these benches upstairs, and like you can see like the shadowing like appearing and disappearing when she's like overlapping with it, and I noticed the same thing with ray tracing on, and I just thought I was like, well, if this doesn't prevent that like effect from happening when you're covering it, I mean, I'd have to go back and look at it. I mean, maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I'm pretty sure that even with ray tracing on, I saw those shadows still like draw in. I mean, maybe it's a difference from the PC and console versions ray tracing implementation.
Is it gonna fill up his?
I'm
He's
talking about
filling up his
Xbox Series
helmet
X.
with
I'm not
its
talking about PC.
the creature's blood. He's gonna. Dang. He like filled up his helmet with that creature with that thing's blood, and then put the helmet on.
Well, whatever suits your fancy, I suppose.
Yeah, whatever you're into, dude. If that's really what you want to do.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure on the console version, I think there's just ray trace mode and not ray trace mode. Not ray trace mode 60 FPS. I was just not totally I was just not totally convinced that the benefit was there to not use 60 FPS, at least in the console version. There's $2 from Chris Fratz. Thank you, saying on PC, all screen space options are grayed out. I assume if you're using ray tracing. I mean, I don't think you have like options like that on the console version.
Did you see the gaming blows?
Okay, so Hattori Hanzo is saying just reflections on console. So it does have so that's why I was like kind of like, if ray tracing doesn't get rid of those of the sort of disappearing screen space ambient occlusion, then
oh wow, this is like really
it's
like
it's so like, well, I don't know if it's worth not playing in 60 FPS yet. Then I'm just not. Oh yeah, there was 199 from Gaming Blows just saying Blasphemous, yeah.
Blasphemous. Yeah, I mean, Golden King is saying this game is like 3 words away from getting sued by From Software, because it's like all these items like have like, don't like all the weapons and stuff in the Souls games have like a big lore thing to them.
Oh yeah.
So it's got like, okay, so this thorn, this quest, okay.
All that crap.
I mean, this option screen is overwhelming feeling. Does that make sense to you? Do you see that a little bit? Like it feels kind of like overwhelming.
Oh,
Like there's a lot of empty slots in this option screen.
Are you talking the option screen or the inventory?
Well, the inventory, you know what I mean. Like the.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought maybe you had gone to an option screen.
No, just like the inventory. Like there's a lot of empty spaces and things like chained together that it's like, oh, it feels like this. It's gonna make me like you gotta think about a lot of stuff. You really gotta think about your loadout.
You know, I mean, the weird thing about lore in games like this and Dark Souls and stuff is like the world is like so strange that it's almost like
you can parry. Oh, man.
Even with like all the lore and stuff, it's almost like I just cannot like quite see how the world became so strange, you know?
Yeah. See, I'm annoyed. I hate when like things like like parry and dodge are like on the smaller shoulder buttons and not like ZR or ZL. Like things I need to use a lot. Like I like to use the triggers for that kind of things. And I know that I can just make that change like within the Switch menu itself.
It would be perfect with the Super Nintendo controller.
Well, you got to use both shoulder buttons for it. I mean, this definitely seems cool.
Was it a limited game from someone? I don't know.
But there's I think you can get the PS4 version is like a retail release.
Oh, okay. I mean, it might be it kind of strikes me as a game that might play better with a PlayStation controller anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it feels to me that I'd want to play it with the 8-bit Do Pro 2 or whatever it is, the Pro Pad 2.
I'd rather use a PlayStation controller than an 8-bit Do personally.
But you don't have any of the Pro, like the Pro 2 or whatever, right?
No, but I don't particularly like the handles on them. Like something about the handles puts me in PlayStation mode, and it makes me want to be confirmed. So who released this that you have?
Limited run. I'm just trying it out, Gaming Blows. I don't know if you saw what I'm doing. I grabbed 3 games off my shelf that I hadn't played ever. So I'm about to switch it up. Something else.
Made the pandemic less horrible for me and my friends. Was it does it have online co-op or something, or you just enjoyed playing it? Oh, you got a little Metroid map, huh? How long of a game is this, I wonder? Like I could see it being very involved. I'm gonna look it up. Looks maybe 13 to 18 hours. That's not too bad for,
no.
A Souls-like.
All right.
I still need to get Sekiro. Like I don't think I've ever seen that for a particularly.
Do you think if they make a third Sekiro that's going to be called Shadows Die Thrice?
Well, you know, I'm going to get the PS4 version because that was one of the games where, because the teraflop multiplier from PS4 Pro to PS5 is higher than 1X to Series X, even though Series X is more teraflops than PS5, but there is a larger jump in teraflops from PS4 Pro to PS5. Because of that, Sekiro actually performs better on PS5, according to Digital Foundry.
Huh.
But it is a lower resolution than the Xbox version. Oh. Now, I've played the demo of this, and which is what made me buy it.
Yeah. I bought this
this
based
feels
on
like-
your
this feels
reaction
like-
to the demo. I've never
This
even
game
seen it
was
in
like-
action before, but it was
Yeah,
like
this-
it was like $12 or something like that.
I think it was like $16 on Amazon.
Okay, yeah, it
when I
might have
got
been 16.
Yeah, I was like, I saw that this was available, and I was like, oh man. In fact, if Doc Dragon is still here, it was his directorship stream on the Backloggery that I played this and discovered it. And I think he was the one who said he thought there was a limited run for it, but that was long gone. But I found that it was on Amazon and really cheap, so I bought it. Cause I mean, it seems really good.
Bug Snacks Mania. I have no idea what to expect. Like I said, I've never even seen it in action.
It's a gorgeous game.
It's gonna strike me as something that just like feels relaxing to play.
I mean, it looks like a game that your kids would love to watch you play.
Yeah, I see. That was the kind of thing. I was kind of sad that I played Ratchet and Clank just by myself because I feel like they would have like loved it, and maybe I'll wait to replay it when they can like watch. Because you know, I watched the movie with my son.
Did he like it?
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. That's kind of neat.
Right?
But no, I mean it's just like it's just like a cool idea.
Yeah, I mean, there's like just like pinball type things all over the world.
Yeah.
It's a pinballvania.
I mean, has anything like ever been like released as like this?
You know, John was saying that there's a game on PS2. I think it's just called Pinball Quest. It's apparently really good.
Maybe that's what this is inspired by.
Maybe. I think it was. I mean, it was like a really generic sounding name. Like, I don't know if that's exactly what it was. I looked it up. I don't think it's an expensive game. But he was a big fan. It sounded like.
I like how he's just like hanging on for dear life. I wonder how long this is.
I don't know. I mean, I know there's like a bunch of you like accept a bunch of quests and just like sort of complete them in the world. Let me look up.
It really is like a pinballvania.
I know. I mean, it's cool, right? It's like such a neat idea.
Oh, and then you're right, like. But you're right. It's just so easy to get into like a mindset of like, you know, I'm not gonna play this game until I'm ready to start it.
Exactly. But then
like
when you actually play, it's like, oh.
Well, then it's like, you know, like why do I?
Why be that?
Why do I feel like that? I mean, I shouldn't feel like that.
Right. I mean, you know, like maybe something will just strike you when you try it, and it's like, then you'll be like actually excited to play it.
Yeah. Or you know,
I mean,
but you know, if you don't feel like it, then that's okay too. Like then you remember it for when, you know, like when you do feel like it.
Well, there are a ton of submissions for this game. In contrast to Tomba 2, I mean the completion times are all over the place. Like, looks like maybe 8 to 10-ish hours, but could be more depending. That's not too bad.
No.
I guess it's just such a nice looking game too, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just such a neat idea.
I never played Odama. That's one of those games that I've seen in a lot of places, but I've never seen it being played or anything like that.
What game?
Odama. That's that
Oh,
pinball,
yeah. No, is that the microphone GameCube game, or am I thinking of something else?
I think it is. Yeah, it's like a it's a microphone game. Let me get up here.
Hazy83 is saying PS4 version is $9.99 on Amazon right now. Are you talking about this Yoku's Island Express?
That's cool. Like, so now I just play it for a little bit, and then suddenly, like, hey, this is only $10 to buy the physical copy on Amazon, or like someone was saying, like Wallachia is on the eShop for $10 right now, and maybe someone will be like, hey, like I'll just buy it right now because it's kind of cool.
Yeah, the PS4 version of this it really is $9.75. Like, can you believe that? That's so cheap. And then the Xbox One version is only $11.78. I didn't even know there was an Xbox One
physical one.
Yeah. And then the Switch version is the European version. It looks like they no longer have the American Switch version. The Switch version on here is European, and it's $27. They do have the American PS4 and Xbox One, which are super cheap. But yeah, like back around Christmas was when I bought this. On Switch, and they did have the Switch version at that time. It was really cheap, but it looks like they don't have the American Switch anymore, so probably sold out of that.
But in a way, you know, like how I always talk about how, you know, like joining the backlog like changed like the way I played games. In a way, like me not like playing games when I first get them and waiting until I start them is also a byproduct. It's like in a negative way.
Yeah, that you know, I've thought about that a lot too, and like that has been part of. I mean, I like this idea of what you're saying. Just try it. I've definitely thought like, you know, I should try out a game when I get it, and even if I don't think I'll have time for it, like maybe I'll change my mind once I actually play it, and I'm like, oh.
It's Baldino.
Stream FF7 Intergrade. Nah. I did test it out a little bit. I mean, I had to go see the door for myself, you know?
It's weird. I feel like the game looks almost like unnatural at 60 FPS. Like, it looks really good. But at first I was like, oh, it looked like almost like wrong at first to me.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's this prevailing opinion out there that calling 30 FPS a stylistic choice is objectively invalid, and I disagree. Like, you know, I know people gave the director of the Order 18, what was it? Was it 1868 or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of grief for saying that, like, oh, like it was a stylistic choice. It's like, no, 60 FPS is objectively better, and it's like, well, I mean, yeah, 60 FPS is almost always better, but like, I feel that it is valid for someone to say that, like, oh, like, you know, 30 just feels more like what I wanted to do with this game. You know, I would disagree with that in most cases. Although I think, you know, 30 FPS is fine, and you know, your average 3D game. But you know, I would agree that in most cases 60 is better. But there's, you know, now I'm pretty sure I will play the game in 60 FPS. But I know what you mean. Like, it almost feels too real to be real. You know, like there is something that feels like the characters have more weight when they're, you know, more physical presence in 30 frames per second somehow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing with the 60 FPS, and one of the reasons I'm so excited to see it offered so almost universally in this new generation, is that what you lose in pixel resolution, you gain in motion resolution. And frankly, I do think that the game updating twice as fast has its own way of hiding jaggies and stuff like that. So I was watching the Digital Foundry video on FF7 Intergrade.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember correctly, the pixel count for 60 FPS is slightly lower, not significantly lower, but is slightly lower than you know, what the PS4 Pro's output resolution is. Whereas it's native 4K in the graphics mode. But like, I honestly could barely see a difference because like the anti-aliasing is already so good. Like once you've got like really, really good anti-aliasing, like I don't really care too much what the resolution is. Like anything like 1440p on up to native 4K looks just about the same to me as long as the anti-aliasing is good. If the anti-aliasing is bad, then the higher resolution does help, of course. You know, Final Fantasy.
I take it that this is all like one interconnected thing. Like it doesn't actually have any like end of level stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it does. I think it is all connected. I'm sure you unlock some shortcuts and stuff at points.
I can carry 150 fruit now. Somebody save my game. I'll do it. You want me to grab one more thing?
Yeah, let's do that. There was $5 from Resonant Gaming. Thank you.
Thank you.
saying after seeing Corey feed that poor eel a poison shroom, I am afraid for any guests he has over during a barbecue.
Well, I'm not cooking the barbecue. It'd probably be a similar situation though. I was actually cooking.
But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to play Final Fantasy VII Remake. Or you know, first I'm at least the very least I don't know if I'll immediately replay it. I kind of want to, but I'll see how I feel after playing Intermission, the Yuffie thing. But I'm definitely going to play it at 60 FPS because I don't think that the resolution increase is that palpable. Honestly. But the frame rate is, I mean, yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Oh, I didn't know you got this.
I got it like last minute before they stopped having it for limited run. Like they were selling it for a limited run, right? Or a limited run was selling it for somebody else. I don't know.
Right.
I threw it in on one of my orders.
Yeah, I got this too.
I have no idea what it's going to be like. I assume it's going to be like River City Ransom, maybe.
I think it's going to be somewhat River City Ransom-ish, which is the main reason I got it. But like, I'm also under the impression that there's possibly more like, maybe like conversation and like visual novel aspects to it, possibly. Like I'm definitely under the impression that there's more like conversations and like maybe like social linky type stuff, but I'm not positive. I got that impression somehow.
Good music. Music is really good.
You know, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking like, oh, the resolution looks really low.
There's like a button for like for smoking, for like lighting a cigarette and tossing it.
You know, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, oh, the pixels look really chunky in this. You know what really surprised me?
So,
you know, I remember I played Panzer Paladin
yeah,
a few weeks ago. You know, I never thought that was especially low resolution when I was streaming it or anything, but I took it over to my parents' house, and you know, I've got this old projector from 2004 that I bought at a thrift store, and I was playing it on that, and I noticed, and see that projector's native resolution is 720p, and so I set my switch to 720p, and I got right up to the screen and looked at it, and each pixel in 720p. How big do you think each game pixel was at 720p?
Oh, I don't know.
You would think 3, right? You would think,
oh, yeah,
3 by 3. Each pixel would be 3 by 3. It was 4 by 4.
Huh.
It's 720p, and I was like, what? And so I did the math. Let me do it again. So 720 divided by 4 is 180. That means that Panzer Paladin is native resolution is 180p.
Huh.
Which is like it did not look that. It doesn't feel that low, you know? So I thought that was really interesting. Like it definitely has an NES-ish vibe to it, but like that's like getting closer to Game Boy resolution. So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. See, this definitely looks like maybe they're going for a Wonder Swan color vibe.
Right.
So I'm surprised how much brawling is in this right in the beginning. I kind of thought it was going to be like a Talkie Talk game at first. I don't know why. I just kind of thought it would be.
KH, this is the Friends of Ringo Ishikawa. I'm just skipping over this. I don't know. Do you think we could probably do like a whole stream of just doing this? You know, I think it'd be fun.
I mean, I could see it being a recurring thing even.
Yeah, like playing games that we never played before.
We've bought it, but we never even booted it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people would love it because it'll give people some ideas too.
Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty fun. I mean, you know, there's a lot of times where it's like, I don't want to start something new because like I'm already playing so many games currently.
Yeah.
That I haven't finished. So that would be a great thing where it's like, oh, you know, I don't want to really commit to anything, but I want to play some stuff I never played before. Because usually when I do pick stream games, it's usually something I haven't played before.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just booted it up to take a quick look to see if it does seem like something I want to stream.
I'm just skipping all the dialogue. So, no.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the right time to be paying attention to the dialogue. You know, when you start the game for real, you'll read.
There's no jump though.
Does River City Ransom have a jump?
Oh yeah.
Is it like a simultaneous A plus B or
Yeah.
something? Yeah.
Yeah, the music is definitely the best part that I've. Oh, that's cool. You get a little title shot there.
I mean, what does it seem to be going with for the music? Since I can't hear it.
I mean, it's not chip tuning. It's like more like all like guitar, like kind of guitar jamming. It's surprising. I was playing Tomba for a while, and then it's not even indie stream. It's just like games that I have but I've never really played before. So it's like just something that I thought would be fun to do, like an entire stream on.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just that we do have a lot of indie games we haven't played because we keep buying like limited run and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And two, that those are just sometimes the kind of games that are just easiest to pop in and test out a bit, you know?
Yeah.
Rather, like, you know, like it's like, oh, I haven't played Ratchet and Crank.
Ratchet and Crank.
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet, I'm gonna start calling it Ratchet and Crank.
Ratchet and Crank. I haven't played Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart yet, so it's not like that is definitely not the kind of game like, I'm just gonna pop this in for a little bit and see what it's like. Like indie games are definitely much easier to do that with, or you know, like.
Oh, look, we got like menus. You get a party.
Oh, you got like a little Earthbound looking menu, kinda.
And it's even got, you gotta pay attention to your grades.
Oh no.
That's kind of cool though. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it seems like
I
there's
ate my
maybe a bit of
sandwich.
a persona element to it, you know?
Yeah. More like not even that. It feels more like a, I don't know, like a slice of life high school dating simulator or something like that.
Maybe. Like, well, I mean, you know, really, I mean, that's what fascinates me so much about River City Ransom. Is
There's
I
even
feel
a
like
button for you to put your hands in your pockets.
That's kind of awesome. I mean,
camera, though, on the rooftop. Very subtle, but you can see it. I don't know. That's just like.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't notice it until now.
You only notice it when you have your hand when you're walking at the speed that you are. When
Walk
you have
with
your
your
hands
head in your pocket while smoking. but I mean, like I've always been so fascinated by River City Ransom, feeling like it's in a lot of ways like kind of an open world game template, and like you know, you just kind of figure out what you want to do in that world. And I think something that fascinates me about what I see about this game is it almost looks like it embraces that even more so with like maybe, you know. So I mean, it's I'm very, very curious. I'm going to look up how long this game is to beat.
I like that you just have like limited amounts of cigarettes. You could just like light it, take a drag off it, and chuck it, and then light another one. Endless cigarettes.
Your friend just lit one up there too.
I thought he'd smoke every time I did.
No, he wasn't at first. Or at least when I looked up, he wasn't, and he put one in.
Oh, A and B to jump. Huh.
Oh, there you go.
Why is that not on a button? Can you... Oh, you can quit at any time. Oh. I think it has beat 'em up sections in it, but it's like, you gotta do good in school too.
Well, it looks like it's like 10 hours, give or take.
That's not too bad. Just go.
No.
Well, I could do this for a while longer, but it's 11:30.
Yeah, it's 11:30. We should hang it up.
But maybe we'll do this like next week. We should do this next week with like some of your games.
With my games, yeah.
Maybe we'll just like dedicate a whole stream to that.
I'll do PS4 since I've got all of my games installed.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be as easy for you to do PS4, but
no,
really
I have all mine installed now on my PS4.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a 2 terabyte SSD internal a while back.
It's the Gaia Game Boy. What's that?
I got that the Darius Cosmic Revelation collection, and it installs them separately.
So is that an emulated Game Boy version?
Yeah,
it's really weird to me that it's got that like off-brand Game Boy font. Game Boy written in like this like off-brand font.
I mean, I think it's just like the third entry in that the Darius collections that Strictly Limited was doing. And I think this Sagaya Game Boy was one that was missing from that collection. And they just added it to this one because they're like...
The physical only?
I have no idea.
That's cool.
Because you see it says Darius Cosmic Collection. So maybe in Japan, it was, in the Japanese version, it was, there's the... How does this person do this?
I don't think we're doing a Capcom showcase tomorrow because it's going to be it's too late for John and Audie.
Yeah.
So we don't particularly want to do it without them. So
yeah.
Actually, I don't even know when it is. I mean, it might be it might even be during the Backloggery stream for all I know.
How does this person, like, the only option I have for this person is to say unhide user on this channel. So if they're hidden, how are they still showing up?
Oh.
I have no idea. I don't know how that works. Because I'm not only, like, leaving, I want to, like, stop them from posting anything, but it's not letting me.
Has become a sponsor.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's more fun also to, like, not let people know what you're putting in.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you know, I think I'll do that next week. I'll just play some random PS4 games.
Yeah.
That I've never booted up.
Yep.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
It does. All right, I think that's gonna do it. Look for Try and John and Audie, and possibly me on Tuesday for the Nintendo Direct. I think that's at noon Eastern, right? I think that is.
Or is it even earlier than that? Is it 11? Let me look it up right now.
I'm pretty sure that it's noon.
Nintendo Direct.
Because if it's at 11, then I definitely can't make it for that.
12 Eastern.
Okay.
You know, I'll have to. I know what I'm eating for lunch and early lunch, I suppose. At that on Tuesday. I gotta go get Wendy's. It's the long-standing backloggery tradition of you have to have a Frosty. You have to have a Frosty for Nintendo's E3 conference.
Do you just get like a small Frosty, or do you get like the full sized, like a large?
I'll probably get a medium, maybe. Now, and note, you know, I think Drum has liked to save his in the past for the conference, but to me, you can eat it before the conference.
Oh, I would save it for the conference.
Huh?
I would save it for the conference.
No, I mean it's okay to eat it before, but you know, if it's not going to be a good conference if you don't have a Frosty, you know, within an hour before the conference. You know,
it's too bad. It's too bad that
you gotta have a Frosty.
If we were in Japan, we'd have a long-standing tradition of having a Wendy's Wild Rock before every single conference. All I
wonder if they still have that over.
What's that?
I wonder if they still have the Wild Rock.
The Wild Rock?
Yeah, or if it was like a limited time thing.
I don't know.
I gotta be honest. I'm not sure how much I regret not having the Wild Rock. I don't have a lot of regrets about not eating that. The only regret I have is that I had a chicken sandwich at Wendy's, and I did not think they were quite. I didn't like it quite as much as the American Wendy's chicken sandwiches. Although, now that the chicken sandwich wars are in full swing, Wendy's chicken sandwich is actually,
If you want to know what the Wild Rock is, just do a search for Wendy's Wild Rock, and it's the Japan's Wild Rock sandwich. It's it swaps out bread with 2 all beef patties.
Yep. Like it just feels gross to hold. Like I wouldn't feel.
I don't think you hold it. I don't think I held it, did I? I think I used it. Like I ate it with a
fork.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't quite remember.
The wild rock in the pit of your stomach after that.
I mean, it's like KFC's done stuff where they have like two fried chicken patties for buns.
Put meat on your meat so you can have meat when you have meat. I'll eat meat.
Carl's Jr. has a chicken waffle sandwich now. That sounds amazing. I wonder if Hardee's has that.
Hardee's. All right. Well, we'll see everybody on Tuesday. Thanks everybody who hung out and everybody who donated tonight. It was a lot of fun. Sorry I didn't make it very far in Tomba.
You made better progress than I thought you would, honestly. I thought it was going to be a pretty tough game to make progress in.
To get it going. But
yeah.
And we'll do a random game stream next week. We'll see what we come up with.
Let's do it. Sounds fun.
All right, everybody. Have a great night and a great week.
Good night.